is Old School 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Welcome to the show on an overcast Thursday here in the capital city, but we will power on through. I'm Austin. He is Jay, and you are you. Appreciate you dialing up the show, 402-464-5685 if you want to be a part of things, brought to you, as always, by the good folks over at Graham Tire Company. Plenty to get to. We will have a conversation here in about 25 minutes with Wilson Moore of the Omaha World Herald regarding Nebraska men's basketball. It's been a week. It's been a week already since Nebraska season came to an end, but still plenty to talk about with that team. Plenty more going on in college hoops. And, of course, Jay, we can lead with the news of the day out of the NFL. The Las Vegas Raiders have signed Kirk Cousins. Set adrift from Atlanta, moved on from. He lands in Las Vegas. And how about this? For the 11th year in a row, Kirk Cousins' money is fully guaranteed.
Hey, listen, there's some legends when it comes to doing this NFL thing. Now take the Peyton Mannings and all them. I mean, that's rightfully so. Well, you talk about that Kevin Kolb that went to Philly, broke bread. Rob Johnson, I saw it firsthand with Buffalo, broke bread. And what I mean by that is your paycheck didn't really match your performance. And then when you think about Chase Daniels being the ultimate backup, Ryan Fitzpatrick fleecing people, Josh Johnson, 16 teams in 17 years, and then there's Kirk Cousins, the legend of all legends. And you have to think, guess who you have to think?
Who do you have to
think? Excuse me.
Who are we thinking?
Daniel Snyder. The unwillingness of Daniel Snyder to pay this man, and was franchised like 3 or 4 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
So those are guaranteed. And then he went to Minnesota and signed that 3 or 4 year deal that was all guaranteed. So that's 6. And then when he got his other ones, he did guarantee. And then we went to Atlanta, got guaranteed, chilled. I mean, for Kirk Cousins, only thing I'm mad at is that you drafted Michael Penix, then you turned the page on Michael Penix, and then I got my shoulder hurt. And then you dogged me out. And then I go to the Raiders. You couldn't ask for a better scenario for Kirk Cousins. You couldn't. You got a guy that knows how to coach quarterbacks, right? You got a player that does really, really well with a head coach that's a quarterback, guru or whatever you want to call him. And you got to think, he's seeing Sam Darnold or Kirk Cousins and Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins. He's called Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. Trust me. I hit the jackpot with Sam Darnold. How far off or how is Kirk Cousins right there? So even if you decide to draft Mendoza, you have all the negotiation power right now. That phone is ringing off the hook right now. Because you got a guy that now, I know he signed that funny money contract. It's really just a 1 year, $20 million guarantee. And he's going to get $10 million this year and $10 million guaranteed next year, but it's all in this year.
For those who haven't heard the structure of this contract, functionally, it's a 1 year, $20 million, like you said, but you might see a 5 year, $172 million deal is what it's been reported as. The Raiders have a club option for 2 years and $80 million. A whole lot of funny money going on there. But Jay, I think the hope for Las Vegas is that they only need the 1 year before Fernando Mendoza most likely is ready.
Yeah, and if they take Mendoza, it's a great position for Mendoza to be in. I'm sure Kirk Cousins has had more clear conversations with the Raiders than what the conversation was when he signed as a true free agent with the Atlanta Falcons, because he wants to protect his career. Let's be honest. When healthy, he's still a viable starter, a starter in the NFL.
Top half starter?
Close to it, if not
top 20.
Yeah, easily. Okay. He probably inching toward. He played well when he got in last year. Reluctantly, they didn't want to play him,
right?
And I think having a full offseason and command of the offense, I know for a fact the Vikings wouldn't mind having him right now.
Oh, without a doubt.
If they didn't get Pocket Hercules on a friendly deal, Kirk Cousins would be welcome back there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where he was connected to. So, for him, he's a great teammate. He's a great guy, has a great agent. He is the ultimate fleece factor. He's a good player. So it's not like he hasn't earned it. But I think This last one is, and then he ain't done yet. Because wherever he goes next, he's going to get some more guaranteed money, even as a backup. So you're thinking about 12,
he's 37 now.
Yeah.
3 more years?
If Joe, listen, Phillip Rivers, okay, came out off essentially the couch.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hefty. Came off the sideline from a high school team.
But he was hefty.
Oh, yeah.
He's been eating like a high school
little
coach.
doughy around the midsection.
Yeah, he's been eating like a high school coach.
Mm-hmm.
And balled out at times. Kirk Cousins can play as long as he wants. That's why Tom Brady has been thinking about coming back. The league said, no, you're an owner. Those days is past. Kirk Cousins can play.
Divest or else.
He can be in the league if he wants for another 6 or 7, maybe 8 years.
Man. Can you imagine 45-year-old Kirk Cousins still putzing around the NFL?
Yeah.
I can't.
I can't.
That's a bridge too far for me.
But he not as a starter.
Well, yeah.
But
right.
as a viable backup, if he wanted to go and get into coaching, I don't think he does, but he definitely for sure. Another 3 years for sure. If healthy. 2 more years as a starter. These dudes can't play dead. Quarterback, listen, everybody talks about the Elite 11 and all that. These guys are garbage.
Who's got more in the tank, Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins?
Oof.
Because Kirk looked bad a couple years ago. Had his moments last year.
But his shoulder was hurt.
It was.
Oh, man, it's a toss-up. Aaron Rodgers, it's all mental. I'm going to still give Ron the benefit of the doubt. But part of me would say Kirk Cousins because he's going to be there the whole offseason. Like Aaron, and so and Aaron Rodgers hasn't gotten signed back with Pittsburgh yet.
He has not.
So I'm going to give
He's not on a darkness retreat as far as we know, but
yeah, didn't he say his wife lives over in Europe or somewhere?
His secret wife that
nobody's ever seen.
We've never seen and never heard of. Like, we at least got pictures from Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, and they've been appearance together.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, not so much. The last thing I remember about Aaron Rodgers and his relationship drama was Shailene Woodley.
Is that the one that the actress that didn't live in an apartment? She just lived out like a suitcase. Is that the one? Because then that was after Danica
Patrick. Yeah.
Right?
I'm trying to figure this out. Yeah.
Yeah, Woodley. I think she's the one that she's an actress, right? And then she just lived like in a trailer or something, I think.
I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's his personal business. I just think Aaron Rodgers is he's a little different. I just think that for him at that age, you need to, and for Pittsburgh, you need to be there all offseason. Or for the offseason program. You need to be there. Mike McCarthy, new system. You upgraded receivers. You got Pittman coming in with Metcalf. You got, look, if you made the playoffs last year, the coach got fired. You got to get your timing down, man. You got to put the work in. And to be honest, there's no excuse because the NFL offseason is like child's play to what we did. And I'm not here to talk about the old, but they're not even committed to do this. Like in regular, like when I played right now, you're there. I'm in Buffalo or I'm in Houston.
Working out, getting to know people.
And it's mandatory. The whole team is there. And then you're sitting there and wondering, are they going to draft somebody in your spot? Or, you know what I mean? So these guys don't show up until 2 or 3 weeks after the draft, if that.
Man.
Because of the change in the rules. So when my point is, if you're a veteran player, and especially at quarterback, and I know you know Mike McCarthy's system, but you haven't played it in a long time, but the timing has to get there because you're not getting the training camp reps and you're not getting the preseason reps. So you have to be there in the offseason. You got to be committed.
Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. You can chime in 402-464-5685. Cubsker says, let's go. Happy Thursday, gents. Leg day of the gym is done. I'm done for the week, so it's time to celebrate old school style. Only thing I thought seeing that Cousins news is that Rodgers is definitely coming back to Pittsburgh, and he seems dejected by that. Who else could Pittsburgh have gotten?
Is he
He's a Steelers fan.
They can't get anybody.
You can do worse than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
It would have been hard to do better. I mean, you could take a shot on the unknown Kyler Murray at this point, Justin Fields 2.0 that you left on the bench.
If I was Pittsburgh and I'd trade for Prime. The Prime 2. Shador.
In division?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, because he at least give you some life.
Yeah.
But I think I think since Mike McCarthy was down at the like the NFL meetings or whatever, he said he's had a ton of conversations with Aaron. So I'm sure it's already kind of known.
Yeah.
And so it's just a matter till you put pen in the paper. But if it was me and I was talking to Aaron and I have a relationship, I said, Aaron, listen, dude, I understand, but this is a new program, and I know you're at the end of your career, and I know I trust you. You're going to be in shape, but things are different than when we were in Green Bay.
But this isn't about you right now.
This is about us. We'll work with you here. If okay, here I'll give you an example. So when you're there for workouts, right? Generally that's 4 days a week. Monday, it's either Monday through Thursday or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So for an Aaron Rodgers, you'd be okay with him busting out of there Thursday night, going back to Cali.
Okay.
Understand that. You know what I mean? And guys would understand it because there's guys that are veterans and they kind of they're on a different schedule. The man's 40-some years old. Cam Hayward's on a different schedule too. TJ Watt. You just need to be there, and that way everybody knows when you're there, it's time to work, and you can get a ton done.
Yeah,
and you'll be in the you'll be in the football offices and all that stuff. And I always find it weird. And I understand. I was not at that age when I retired. I just always find it weird that, like for me, it was more of if I was going to take the risk physically. The want, like if I physically felt like I would be safe out there, and not have any long-term ramifications, I would have played.
That fire's still burning.
Right.
Yeah.
The reality, it wasn't. Aaron's not in that position, so you got to know whether you want to play or not. And it's easy right now. You're a quarterback.
Never been easier to be a quarterback.
Never been easier. You got two weapons on the outside. You have a coach that you're in a great organization. Yeah, it's across the country. Yeah, you probably have stuff going on. Yeah, you live in Cali. Yes, you're in shape out there. But the most important thing is for you to ball out of control. Because if Aaron Rodgers is able to play like he did the last year with the Jets, not only do the Pittsburgh Steelers make the playoffs again, they are a player in the AFC title hunt.
Oh, yeah. Not just to make the playoffs,
right,
but chance to do some damage.
Do some big damage. Everybody in the division is compromised. You win your division. The Patriots have shown that they have a little bit of kryptonite. That might be a one-year wonder, right? You saw what happened in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs, wounded warriors. Buffalo is Buffalo. Sure, you have to worry about the AFC West, but you like to think that they kind of, eat off each other so much by the time they get to the playoffs. Who knows?
You kind of owned Indy recently as well after they win the AFC South.
And do you and sure you got to worry about Tennessee and Jacksonville, but are you really worried about Houston?
I mean, that's pass rush.
Right, but you can't score.
Yeah.
My team can't score. So, I mean, are you really worried about Denver? They're not an offensive juggernaut. No, they can pass rush.
They can.
But Aaron Rodgers.
Well, Houston and Denver are kind of two sides of the same coin.
Aaron Rodgers is the equivalent of Randy Johnson in the playoffs.
See where you're coming from.
You can line him up. That dude, you can't stop him when he's on.
Yeah, when he's on.
So, and Kirk Cousins, poof. Kirk, if they get some sort of offensive help on the outside, he's gonna do work.
Imagine if they hadn't traded Jacoby Myers away.
Yeah, I mean they would, and it's hard to kind of make decisions based on Kirk Cousins being your quarterback if you draft Mendoza, because you got to draft guys that fit Mendoza's skill set.
That was going to be where I wanted to go next. How similar or different are Cousins and Mendoza? Because I think back to Alex Smith in Kansas City, right? When they draft Patrick Mahomes, people forget Alex Smith could move a little bit. Mahomes kind of just ended up being a souped up version of Alex Smith. Is Mendoza souped up Kirk Cousins, or are they different enough that they have to take kind of two timelines?
Here's the thing, and this is all strategic. If they draft him, I'm assuming that they will. Everybody talks about Mendoza's personality. This is what I've been told by a very reliable source. And if you go back and watch Mendoza at Cal, it's not the dude at Indiana when you see him. No, he's always been kind of quirky and shy in front of the camera. He studied Kirk Cousins. He's watched QB1, and that's what these kids are doing now. They're all trying to, it's kind of like what, I was just talking to a friend of mine about Kobe and Jordan. The reason why Jordan liked Kobe, because Jordan liked that Kobe was trying to be him so bad. Well, he has a problem with LeBron. LeBron ain't, he's like, I'm going to be me. Mendoza studied Kirk Cousins, how he interviewed, how he went about his business, and it's worked out for him.
Mm-hmm.
When he talks about, listen, I don't want a girlfriend because it'd take away from me, like, watching tape. Kirk Cousins is married and has a family, but everything he said, when I'm there, it's all football. And then when I'm at home, I'm at home. That's the same thing Mendoza's talking about. I spent very little time, like, outside of the facility. But when I'm outside of the facility, I've already got my work done. So really, it's the younger version of Kirk Cousins, actually the younger, bigger, faster. I mean, I'm sure arm strength, stronger version of Kirk Cousins. That's it. A hyper-focused dude that's quirky, right? That likes things the way he likes it the way he wants. That's it. He watched this dude and is like, I'm him.
I can do that.
Because and it's really smart, because if you're a player and you're looking, the best thing, what do they tell you? Like, here's what they tell you when you're a rookie or when you're a freshman. Find somebody that does it right and watch what they do. So if I'm in college, right, and I get a chance to be really good, I'm going to watch how they interview. I'm going to watch how they go about their business, and I'm going to replicate it, because it's no matter who it is, it's a very short time to make a ton of money. And for him to go from where he was at Cal to Indiana, now the number one pick, and the production is led to by his process, or the process leads to his production. And then you got the dude in there with you too. You get because Kirk Cousins is a pro.
Yeah.
And it's a great person. He's going to teach you the game. You're going to be. He's very diligent in his work. So the personality to fit with him is really, really good. He wouldn't have fit with Geno Smith.
Right.
It's the Raiders, and they actually made a good decision.
Good for the Raiders.
Yeah.
They did it. Little pat on the back.
Yeah. I mean,
is there any chance they still pull a Raiders and don't draft Mendoza?
There's always a chance. There's always a chance the Raiders don't draft Mendoza and take some lineman that ran the fastest 40. Because forever they always took the guy that ran the fastest 40. And that's what that was their deal.
Yeah.
They talked
Ruggs.
They took Ruggs. They took a guy from Colorado, like a DN outside linebacker named Tyler Brayton. That dude couldn't play dead. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but I mean, it wasn't. You draft him first round,
right?
So, yeah, I mean, I think I don't know why you wouldn't draft Mendoza, because I know that they're talking about the 2027 class is supposed to be loaded, but a lot of the guys that are stayed to be in the 2027 class were supposed to be in the loaded 2026 class.
Right.
So every year, this is supposed to be the year, right? This year was supposed to be the year. We were supposed to have, was it Saunders from South Carolina? Cade Klubnik.
Sellers,
excuse me. Then Cade Klubnik and
Nussmeier.
All of them were supposed to be first round pick with Mendoza. Simpson wasn't even there or in the conversation.
Yeah.
And here we are right now. People are going back and forth whether Simpson we should get two guys in the first round in a quarterback need league.
Yeah.
Quarterback driven.
Kind of feels like the Pickett-Ritter quarterback draft at some points outside of Mendoza.
And the thing that they drafted guys like Anthony Richardson in the past, they're using against Simpson because they said he only has 15 starts. Well, that means they're bypassing the skill set and what he did in those 15 starts versus like this guy was a bust. So every year you're going to go into the season and they're like, oh, you got 8 guys that could go in the first round. And then next year it'll probably be about 3 or 4. And then everybody else will slip and, the rest will be history.
So in terms of building a team around Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza,
it's easy.
Simple.
Because they're both the same.
Right.
So that's the best. That's a great decision by them.
You already brought in Linderbaum at center as well. So you invest in a veteran quarterback. You invest in a center.
Got the tight end
there. Obviously, Powers running back you drafted last year, Genty.
And he was productive. They got the other guy that won the Remington Award.
JPJ.
Yep, we got
Powers
him.
Johnson.
And they got the Colton Miller, the left tackle, I think still there. You got to keep him off his Twitter account. And so, they got a young, energetic, aggressive defense that played well at times that you retained your defensive coordinator, I think. So you feel like you have some continuity there, right? And so now you're just in the hardest division. but you don't have to force Mendoza out there. The one of the things that I saw with David Carr, and the Raiders are way ahead of us where we were talent-wise offensively than where we were when I was in Houston, is David never had a pro to kind of bring him along. They cut Kent Graham, and he was a 10-year vet. Now, he was not skill-wise better than David, but he was a pro. He'd been in the league 10 years. He wasn't going to – and I get it's the first year new franchise, but I think if David could have learned and then eventually started during that first year, I think it changes his career or the trajectory initially. I think you're out there as a rookie. You don't know what you're doing. You're behind a porous offensive line without Ashton Genty. We didn't have a running back. We didn't have a number one receiver. We didn't have a tight end, tight end to the caliber that they had. So it's a lot different. But man, when if you don't have that structure around you in the kind of like Peyton Manning, where they're drafting everything for you to be the franchise quarterback, it's hard, man. It's hard.
Well, I feel like there are some guys, Jay, that benefit from having that year behind the scenes, whether they're raw and need to work on their skills, whether it is, professionalizing, if you will, football immature, if not off the field immature. Then there's some guys, and it's a rare, class of guy that is able to come through the struggles of a rookie year of the quarterback position and be okay with it.
Yeah.
Right? Like Bryce Young fighting through it the way he has, not perfect in Carolina. He's kind of come through. I think about, Andrew Luck getting beat up, Trevor Lawrence playing in Jacksonville this whole time, and he seemed to have come out.
Even Peyton Manning,
at times,
led the league in interceptions. Yeah. I mean, obviously, but
and those are some examples, obviously.
Right, but yeah, that's some people, and it all depends on how. I think it's a lot dependent on the franchise and having a plan, and having a plan, even though they're struggling, you're trying to win. Like in Houston, I think they were just, and it was a different time where you hire a GM and a coach, and they're going to be there for 3 or 4 years. Now it's like they hire you, they expect you to win by year 2. Or are you gone? They'll just keep, and that wasn't the case back then. So they could kind of do the long game,
build a runway a little bit.
But yeah, and they had a longer runway. But the problem is that there's veterans on the other side that they're not their career, but sometimes longevity is connected to what you do winning losses. You know what I'm saying? So then it's hard to bring veterans in there, and so you're kind of just really fighting an uphill battle that you have no answer for.
Good stuff there on the NFL. Kirk Cousins going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Like Jay said at the start of the segment, a lot of funny money involved, but the baseline, it is at least 1 year with $20 million guaranteed. We'll go to break. We'll call up Wilson Moore of the Omaha World Herald. Make it 2 Minnesota guys on the show. We'll talk some Husker hoops with Wilson when we get back.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
The wait is over. It's Truck Month at Anderson Ford, which means big selection and even bigger savings on Ford F-150s. Like lease a 2025 Ford F-150 for only $195 per month. The truck that's built to work hard and play hard. Another reason you'll experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1008409. Previous service letter. $195 per month for 36 months, 7,500 miles per year, 8,500 with type. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 3/31/26.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Dana Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Dana Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At CHI Health Clinic, We believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Husker fans, baseball is back in Lincoln, and it's time to get your tickets to Nebraska baseball. Catch great matchups all season long as the Huskers take on some of the top teams in the Big Ten, including Indiana, USC, and Iowa. Plus, don't miss midweek action against in-state rival Creighton and regional matchups with Kansas and Kansas State. Bring the whole family. General admission tickets start at just $10 or grab reserved seats for $15. Don't miss your chance to be part of the action this season. Get your tickets today by visiting huskers.com/tickets or by calling 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Asset Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish top-shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Asset Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
Tired of your furnace running overtime this winter? Let Heartland of Nebraska Windows save the day. Upgrade to stunning, energy-saving triple-pane vinyl windows installed by their team of experts. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty on everything, all for a price you can actually afford. Free estimates, flawless replacements, and peace of mind from a family-owned business you can trust. Don't wait. Call Heartland of Nebraska Windows at 402-430-3852 or visit heartlandofnebraskawindows.com today.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome back in. It is Old School. Austin Orman and Jay Foreman with you. We are headed to our Aloe Fiber VIP line. Aloe Fiber is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. And we welcome in Wilson Moore of the Omaha World Herald. Wilson, it's been a whirlwind here over the last month or so for you and many of our colleagues here in the Nebraska ball media. Settled back in it all back at home now that it's been a week since the season's over now for the Huskers.
Yeah, I have been. I've been able to finally take a breath, which I didn't realize I hadn't been doing for the 3 weeks before that. But yeah, settled in a little bit, and then portal opens Monday, and we'll see how much busier things get again.
Monday, indeed, as soon as the season comes to a close in the national championship. And that's, we'll get to that here toward the end of the show or the conversation, because I do think there's some interesting Nebraska angles with that. But now a full week essentially removed from the end of the season. When you've had a chance to look back on the season that was for Nebraska men's basketball, has anything stood out just about the season or the players in the week or so that you've had back at home now?
You know, it's just like it's little flashpoints that stand out in my mind. You know, it's Braden Frager, suspended in the air for that dunk against Troy, and then 48 hours later laying the ball in against Vanderbilt. Carson Cooper missing a free throw at Pinnacle Bank Arena to kind of seal the win for Nebraska against Michigan State. Sam Hoiberg making that free throw in Kansas City. It's not one thing. They're just little blips and little little moments that stick out in my mind, little freeze frames that I don't think are going anywhere.
The NCAA tournament is obviously an ultimate crapshoot, but all those moments, came for Nebraska in a year that Nebraska had the most success, but also in the midst of a really successful year for the Big Ten. As you see, two Big Ten teams about to take the floor in the Final Four, and as many Big Ten teams as we saw make it to the second weekend. What does it mean for Nebraska that, its most successful season in all of those moments that you mentioned came in a really successful year for the conference as a whole?
Yeah, I think it's certainly a feather in Nebraska's cap, and, there's probably some satisfaction in seeing, the Big Ten was the best conference in the country this year, and that Nebraska had a hand in making that. So, Nebraska was one of the reasons the Big Ten was as successful as it was. They're one of the, I forget how many teams, but, the several of them that advanced to the Sweet 16 played another Big Ten team in the Sweet 16. So, yeah, I think it's kind of emblematic of, just this season and the strength of the Big Ten. And, I don't think, I'm not going to say it validates Nebraska's season, because I don't think that season needed validation after, 28 wins and everything else that went into it. But certainly, it feeds into the larger, plot line of the season that this is a very good conference, and Nebraska was part of that.
One of the reasons for that success, and we found out about this earlier in the week or later last week, was Nate Lenzer. Got his flowers toward the end of the year. He interviewed for a job back home in Cedar Falls for that Northern Iowa head coaching job. He ultimately doesn't land the job. They give it to Kyle Green, who's got plenty of ties to that program. What does it mean for Nebraska that it was able to keep Nate Lenzer on staff despite him having interviewed for that job?
Yeah, it's huge. As I think a lot of people know, Nate Lenzer is the architect of Nebraska's defense, the defense that I believe was the 7th most efficient in the country, according to Ken Pom this year. So to have him back and to just be able to build on that, I think Nebraska should have decent retention this season. So just to have the whole gang back together, assuming nothing else crazy happens or coaching changes or whatever, that's huge. And he's also a guy who a bunch of the guys on the team have a really important bond with. He recruited a lot of those in-state guys, like Braden Frager or Cale Jacobson. And just, he's such a huge piece of everything Nebraska does behind the scenes that, you maybe don't get quite see as much in action or gets quite as much credit for within the larger narrative. But having Nate Lenzer back for another season is huge.
Probably because of his relationship with Fred Hoiberg most of all. And as Nebraska navigates new territory for the program, if not for Fred Hoiberg, with raised expectations, I think having a guy, like Nate Lenzer that's been through the fire with Fred Hoiberg, knows what makes him tick, goes a long way. But also, Wilson, it's probably a sign of things to come, and that I'd be willing to wager that that's not going to be the last head coaching interview that Nate Lenzer gets over the next handful of years. And I would have said, a couple of years ago, that's a scary proposition. Can we trust that Nebraska will still be okay? And I don't want to diminish, Nate Lenzer's role in, making Nebraska as successful as it's been. And I don't want to downplay his relationship with Fred Hoiberg. But also we saw Fred Hoiberg make a pretty good addition in Adam Howard, who was around for 2 postseason runs. Then when Adam Howard leaves, he goes and finds Pat Monahan, who seems to have paid some pretty big dividends in year one. So I think it's fair to say Nebraska, and fans should probably prepare to lose Nate Lenzer sooner than later to a head coaching opportunity. But I think, now more so than, 4 years ago, I think I trust Fred Hoiberg and his ability to go out and find a good replacement, even if it's not a 1-for-1 with Nate Lenzer.
Oh, yeah, no question. Fred Hoiberg even said, I forget exactly when it was sometime back at the beginning of the season, Nate Lenzer is going to be a great head coach someday. I think that still applies. Northern Iowa would have made a lot of sense, which is why he got that interview. Like Fred Hoiberg, he's an Iowa guy, ties to Iowa State. High school coach, had a couple different places in Iowa, so a lot of ties to the state. He would have made a lot of sense for Northern Iowa. But yeah, I mean, especially as if Nebraska builds on this, if Nebraska keeps winning and he keeps getting the deserved credit for being a very big part of Nebraska's success, those opportunities will keep coming for him.
Nebraska able to keep Nate Lenzer, but obviously they lose some key players to graduation, and Sam Hoiberg, Brink Mast, and Jamarcus Lawrence. Wilson, do you think that it's possible for Nebraska to replicate what those players provided? Or if not, how does Nebraska, pivot and keep the same principles and blueprint in place, even if they can't find, a 1-for-1 replacement for guys like Sam Hoiberg and Brink Mast?
Yeah, I think the one who it needs to be like most 1-for-1 is Rink Mast. He, like the two guards, Lawrence and Hoiberg, Nebraska has shown kind of a flexibility of like different skill sets in the backcourt. I think it kind of goes without saying at this point, you need shooters in Fred Hoiberg's system, but like those two guys were both started their careers playing more off the ball. They will handle the ball a bit more this season. Lawrence did a few years ago as well. So I think in the backcourt, you might see a little more variability of like who can fit into Nebraska's system and what they want to go for. If that's a true point guard or someone more like Lawrence, who's kind of a combo guard and is able to play point guard. But that all brings me back to Mast, which I think that's where you need someone who can replicate his skill set as much as possible. I think a big man who can, initiate and preferably stretch the floor the way Mast did is crucial for Nebraska's system, Fred Hoiberg's offense. I think you really saw them lacking that a year ago without Mast. And, obviously it's not a perfect comparison. Like Derek Walker, too, couldn't shoot like Mast, but he could do some of the things like initiating and finding guys from the high post, hitting cutters, things like that. So I think that's probably the area where it's most important that Nebraska gets a guy that specifically matches like the needs of the offense, and who's going to be that 5-man who's able to play on the perimeter a little bit, run some offense through, and just all the things that Mast contributed.
Do you think the coaching staff feels they have that player on the roster right now in a different European big man of the two that are remaining on the roster? Or do you think that's a transfer portal, venture when it opens on Monday?
No, I think that's one of the big questions. If Ugnis Yarosevicius is fully healthy, in theory, he can do some of that. We obviously didn't see a ton of it last year because he only played one game because he's dealing with a back injury. And, backs are tricky. His issue was never supposed to be as long-term as it was, which I'm sure had to be frustrating for him and for everyone involved. But yeah, he has some of that floor stretching capability of Mast. I think he shot 32%, something like that at Central Michigan this past season. So I think he certainly could be, at least in theory, one of those guys who steps in and fills that void.
Leo Curtis, the other option. Do you think he's a year away from being a year away? Do you think he's a rotational guy? Is Nebraska at least in position to keep him in continuous developmental curve?
Yeah, I think if you're Nebraska and if you're anyone looking at Leo Curtis's development, there's a lot to be intrigued about. He clearly has. There's something there. He's got footwork. He's got that. He hits 2 left-handed jump hooks. He's coordinated. He moves well. Can he put that all together? That remains to be seen. But even just in the tournament against Vandy, Buchtengel and Mast both had two fouls with about 2 minutes left in the half, and Curtis came in one of the highest pressure situations of the season, held his own. It wasn't a long stint, but he had a nice dunks just from being in the right spot and setting himself up, getting a feed from Braden Frager. So I think there's a lot to like and a lot to be intrigued about for the future. You're looking at Leo Curtis.
We're talking with Wilson Moore of the Omaha World Herald. He's with us here on our Aloe Fiber VIP line. Stepping back a little bit and taking a more big picture look at the roster, Wilson, I've heard that conversation too about, how does Nebraska replace Sam Hoiberg in rink Mast? But that's not really any different than, how does Nebraska replace Bryce Williams? The same conversation we had last year. And, you go on and on and on. And I think something that's really impressed me about, Fred Hoiberg and what he's been able to do at Nebraska is through 3 straight postseason appearances, 2 NCAA tournaments and the crown sandwiched in between, is that they haven't had necessarily one-to-one replacements for the best players from a year before. And I think on the one hand, you're looking for that identity in pieces that fit hand in glove, that you know what to do with. But I also think it's a testament and a credit to this coaching staff that, okay, maybe they didn't find the exact Derek Walker replacement in rink Mast, but he worked out, right? They didn't find the exact replacement for Bryce Williams in Price Sanford, but that obviously worked out. Do you think Nebraska's trending in a direction, and with the best season in school history, that they have more of the blueprint and the identity, and they're going to try to replicate this roster with maybe some more size or ball handling or whatever moving forward? Or do you think this is a situation for Nebraska where they can continue to be flexible with who they work into the rotation, be it from high school or the transfer portal, because they've shown an ability to not need, one archetype of player at each position necessarily?
I think it's more of the first thing, just thinking about, their portal process 2 years ago versus last year. 2 years ago, they tried to get bigger and stronger and better on the glass and adding guys and, tougher and adding guys like Braxton Mia and Raleigh Wooster. But they in doing so, they got away from what made them successful the season before that, which is having shooters all over the floor, being able to spread out defenses. And we saw them try to go back a little bit more to that last year in adding Stanford and Kendall Blue, who shot 40% from three at St. Thomas. Yarosevicius, who didn't play, but is another guy who can space the floor. Lawrence, obviously. I think they, as we've seen in just the sample size of the past 3 years, that they're at their best when they have shooters and when they can heat up from all over the floor. So I think we're going to see more of that this year, and leaning further into that identity of having skilled guys who can run Hoiberg's offense and cash in open looks.
We've seen with the Final Four that we have a lot of size, right? Arizona's dominated the interior. Nebraska got an up-close and personal look at Michigan and Illinois combined 3 times. Even UConn has pretty good positional size across the board. Do you think Nebraska sees that trend and says, hey, that's what we have to match? Or do you think for Nebraska, it's more be big enough that our skill on the offensive end can shine through?
Yeah, I think if you're Nebraska, you gotta, not to directly contradict what I just said, but offensive rebounding or rebounding in general is going to be something that they have to address with Mass leaving, and when you just look at the common thread of basically all of their regular season losses this year, and just not being able to clean up the defensive glass. So I think in a perfect world, you want to combine the 2 points I just made of, you want to find guys who can rebound without sacrificing the identity that has made Nebraska successful. That's quite the needle to thread. And we'll see if they can do it, I guess.
The other thing I want to mention with you here while we have a couple minutes is in terms of those changes, right? You mentioned the rebounding. Can they find a way to tick that up, especially on the offensive glass? Something that stood out to me the last couple of years, and this goes with Nebraska having more success at a top level. Teams might prepare for them a little bit more. I think one thing that I would say Nebraska could add to the roster, and maybe it's more of a philosophical tweak than anything personnel based. But Wilson, we saw guards in Big Ten play. We saw Tyler Tanner do it from time to time. Really take advantage of Nebraska's defensive principles, especially if they got the ball in the middle of the court, right? We saw, guys attack from the right slot and the left slot, or really just from the top of the key as well. Nebraska, doing the no middle, influencing one way, and then just not recovering back in front. And when there's that lack of communication and that lack of ability to maybe guide a player in one direction, you want him to go and then hop back in front, that really caused issues for Nebraska. Do you think that that's a hole in the defensive scheme that Nebraska is willing to live with? Or do you think that's something that Nebraska could maybe tweak, whether it is with that philosophical shift or by changing how it, teaches on-ball defense to show and then maybe recover in front so you don't just allow the straight line drive like almost got Nebraska beat against Vandy?
Yeah, I think there's no such thing as a perfect defense. Any defense you run, I think, is going to have, there's going to be holes in it. If you're prioritizing one thing, it's going to open up other things. And I think Nebraska is willing to live with what it gives opponents defensively. What you were saying, and also just, the willingness to allow teams to shoot threes. You double the post and force them to kick it out. I actually think back to Brad Underwood after that second Illinois game, saying it's a conscious effort that they try to do that too, because you want them shooting threes where they're at best, the elite of the elite are 40-some% versus layups where you're going to be 80%. So that's all a long way of saying I think Nebraska is willing to live with the shots it does give up and the holes that will inevitably be in any defense when you prioritize things that the rest prioritizes.
And to your point, finishing number 7 in the country in defensive efficiency has a lot of evidence that that defense works pretty darn well, and you can indeed live with those consequences. Wilson Moore of the Omaha World Herald, appreciate your time. As always, my friend, we'll look forward to transfer portal coverage and offseason coverage from you regarding Nebraska men's basketball, omaha.com and Twitter. Thanks as always, my friend. Good to chat.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Wilson Moore, Omaha World Herald, joining us on our Allo Fiber VIP line. Allo Fiber is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. You can find Wilson on Twitter. Follow along for all your Nebraska men's basketball transfer portal needs. Like you said, that opens up on Monday, and I'm sure we'll be having plenty of conversations about that after a heck of the year for Nebraska men's basketball. Short segment wrapping up hour 1. Thirsty Thursday leading off hour 2 of Old School.
Tried Runza's new Jammin' Bacon Cheeseburger with its sweet heat bacon jam, pepper jack cheese, bacon, and cream cheese.
Whoa, this burger's like totally
What?
You know, boom, 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 boom.
Not sure I'm getting it.
It's totally jammin'?
Ah, I see. Well, don't jam with your mouth full. Try the Jammin' Bacon Cheeseburger. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings, thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get 1 half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Biggest question people have is, how do I start the process? What is the process? I want to build a new home, but I don't know what the first step is.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
The first step is make an appointment. Come on into my office. Let's sit around the table. Let's talk about what you're looking for, what your needs are, what your budget might be. And let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. And get a house that you're going to be happy with. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done. Once you find a good lot, let's get it reserved because there's a very limited number of lots in this town. And then start designing that floor plan that's going to be perfect for you. Next thing you know, we're moving dirt.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Dio Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Dio Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diotech online at diotech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School. Hour one of the show brought to you, as always, by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. See the information scrolling below us here on screen. You can learn more by giving them a call at 402-430-3852. You can also visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Learn about free estimates, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and lifetime warranties on everything, as well as, of course, affordable prices. Austin Orman, Jay Foreman, back with you here. Jay, the one thing I didn't touch on with Wilson Moore was reported yesterday. Price Sandfort played about the last month of the year through a sports hernia. Kind of a big deal. Credit to him for gutting it out. But I think the bigger picture question is, did he play well enough that he will still get looks from the NBA, go to the combine and everything despite the injury? Or do you think that with the injury, teams will want to see more and maybe be scared away from Price Sandfort in the NBA draft and give him a better shot at returning to Lincoln in that way?
I mean, selfishly, you'd like it, that'd be a reason to, for him to come back. But I think, doctors are so good now, and he's been relatively, pretty, reliable health-wise. The recovery is a lot easier, and his game isn't a LeBron drive,
stop and start explosive.
So I think doesn't really, hurt him or anything like that. But it's just another, obviously factor that goes in his decision making process. And then obviously with the NBA evaluation, now it hurts you because you're not able to kind of, highlight your skills. And so he still can go through there and interview because I think they know what he can do by now.
Sure can. And of course, now with for the last 5 years or so, you can go to the combine, but you have the early entrance deadline.
Yeah, to come back
to put your name.
As long as you don't sign an agent.
All these guys have agents now.
Like, what is it?
Yeah.
So as long as you don't sign an agent to handle your NBA business, right?
Right. I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Which doesn't matter what hat your agent wears, right? So
right.
But as long as he doesn't do that, he's got plenty of time.
We are still on stream for now as the Royals and the Twins are playing. They're in the ninth inning. Steven Cruz of the Royals has allowed back-to-back solo home runs. So the Twins have opened up a 5-1 lead here in the ninth inning. Royals took the first two in the series. Don't forget, we are at Lincoln's home for the Royals. We'll have pretty much every game on the rest of the summer. After Saturday and Monday, we're carrying wall-to-wall Final Four coverage in the national championship game on Monday night. But after that, it'll be pretty much all Royals all the time here and only here in Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket. We will go to break. When we get back, it's Thirsty Thursday time. Uncle Kevin Meyer is in the house. We'll chat with him, see what he is trying to will into existence today on an Easter weekend that's just around the corner. Thirsty Thursday next on The Ticket.
John just tried Runza's new Jammin' Bacon Cheeseburger with its sweet heat bacon jam, pepper jack cheese, bacon, and cream cheese.
Whoa, this burger's like totally...
What?
You know. Boom, 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 boom.
Not sure I'm getting it.
It's totally jammin'?
Ah, I see. Well, don't jam with your mouth full. Try the Jammin' Bacon Cheeseburger. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new Delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Biggest question people have is, how do I start the process? What is the process? I want to build a new home, but I don't know what the first step is.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
The first step is make an appointment. Come on into my office. Let's sit around the table. Let's talk about what you're looking for, what your needs are, what your budget might be. And let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. And get a house that you're going to be happy with. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done. Once you find a good lot, let's get it reserved because there's a very limited number of lots in this town. And then start designing that floor plan that's going to be perfect for you. Next thing you know, we're moving dirt.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to Oak Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at Oak Street Carpet.
Oak Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Dio Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Dio Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diotech online at diotech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Little click, not a pop.
Not bad. All right. Little fizz. Is it coming?
There we go.
There it is.
There we go.
Crisp and refreshing. Kevin, hello.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Better now.
I can't tell you how refreshing it is to turn on the radio and be able to listen to some baseball. I love that. I would, and you might think I'm weird, but I would much rather listen to a baseball game on the radio than watch it on TV. the theater of the mind, especially when you have a good PA guy, good color guy. When they sit there and talk about, let's the arm dangle. You can see the rosin puff, the flags blowing from left to right, and they paint that picture, and you can really see it in your mind, and you can smell it. The hot dogs and just, I don't know, to me that it paints more of a picture than watching it on TV. It's more exciting.
We got a couple of the best on the air here on 93.7 The Ticket. Jake Eisenberg, friend of the program, calling the game. Steve Stewart as well. I did that on the way home last night. So
yeah,
rain and all.
Well, and then you've got Denny Matthews.
Oh, of course, Denny. Of course.
And they missed a big opportunity by not drafting Spencer Schwellenbach, just to hear Denny Matthews go, Spencer Schwellenbach, or Eugenio Suarez.
Royals were not going to pay up for Eugenio Suarez. He does not fit the organizational philosophy. But Kevin, you mentioned it as you walked in, and we mentioned it. Back-to-back solo home runs given up by the Royals, turning a 2-1 game into a 5-1 game. Yikes.
Whoops.
Didn't mean for that to happen.
That's not what you want from your closer.
It is not. It is not indeed. The real closer is on the IL. He was very bad against Atlanta. So they've put Carlos Estevez on the shelf for the time being. But how long has it been since I've seen you? At least a month.
It's been over a month because we had girls state basketball, boys state basketball, March Madness, and then you were in Houston.
That's in Houston.
So this is week 5 since I've seen you.
Too long.
It has been too long.
You've been here. I have not been here.
Well, I've been here once.
You've been here more than I've been here.
Right. Well, and then I was on vacation as well that other week. So it might have been 6 weeks since I've seen you. So
6 whole weeks. But here we are now. Soak in the moment. Easter's around the corner. That's a big holiday. Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South.
Indeed. Yeah.
What are we starting with today?
I think we should start with the wine. And just to kind of put a shameless plug in, but we are having a buy 5, get 1 free sale at the shop right now. So you can get a 6-bottle free, equal or lesser value. It's a good time to stock up. Believe it or not, people actually drink quite a bit of wine for Easter. And we chose a wine today specifically to go well with Easter ham. And this is a German Riesling. It's called St. Christopher, and it's called Peace Porter Gold Tropfen. And Gold Tropfen means the drops of gold. And so it's from the Mosel region, which is one of the rivers that separates the country of Germany. You've got the Rhine, and then you've got the Nahe, and you've got the Saar. So there are several rivers that sort of crisscross, and that delineates the actual regions of on the wine bottle. And the Germans are unique that they will make 6 or 7 different styles of wine, all from the same grape, and they're the only ones that do it like this. And they have a term for it. They call it a Qualitätswein mit Prädikat, which means quality wine with distinction. And the distinction is when they pick the grapes. So the earlier in the harvest they pick the fruit, the drier the wine. The later in the harvest, the more residual sugar develops within the grape, therefore making the wine a little bit sweeter. So, and the Germans are very type A. So everything is very measurable, quantifiable, et cetera, et cetera. So the first pick in the German harvest of this Qualitätswein mit Prädikat is called a Cabinet. Literally means cabinet. They think you should just have it in your cabinet at all times. It's the world's Germany's most versatile wine. It goes well with everything. Your schnitzel, your sausages, et cetera, your kraut, et cetera, et cetera. The next step, which is what we're having right now, excuse me, cough button, is called Spätlese. And Spätlese means late pick. And so the grapes have hung on the vine a little bit longer, therefore making the wine a little bit sweeter. Then you get into what's called an Auslese, which means late cluster picked. And so they're actually hand picking the individual clusters that meet this criteria. And then you get into Baron Auslese, where they actually hand pick the berries. And then you get into ice wine, which the grapes will be at a Baron Auslese level of sweetness, but it freezes. So they make the wine literally out of the frozen grapes. So those are essentially the different steps, but it's all the same grape. So this has like a fresh apple and pear sort of a sweetness. How like pork chops and applesauce, the honey glaze of the ham, the saltiness of the ham, the fruitiness of this wine actually balances out the sweet and salt of something like that. So that's why I chose it for you today.
This is good. Kevin, you've been on point, man, for like, you on a run. You on a magical run right now.
Jay, you are the best hype man I could hope for.
You on a magical run. Like, who's been on a run? You like Tom Brady and the Patriots, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're the 90s Braves.
You're way too
you
kind.
like the Cornhuskers from the 90s, man. You are on a run.
Way too kind. Thank you.
This is going to go really good with a candied ham. Some nice little brown sugar and some honey on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a spiral honey glaze.
That's exactly what I want. That bone too.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
that's that
bone.
Yes, I want that bone.
You do you keep that, make some soup out of it, or you just gnarl on it a little
I
bit?
gnarl on it.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite things when I was a kid. Be back there. I when you're the youngest and the smallest, I was the run of the family. You get the scraps. So I took the bone all the time.
Hey, scraps get you to the NFL apparently.
That's
so
right.
hey,
you get you beat
get
up.
that
though,
dog
but-
in you.
Hey,
Eat
listen,
that ham bone, kids.
I took plenty of L's when I was a little kid.
I took an L every day of my life. I had a
Yeah.
brother 3 years older than me, and that was and he was not a very kind person. So I guess it toughened me up.
Did he
mentally
age
and
like a
physically.
fine wine into a nicer brother?
He did, yeah, he did. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop, though. Even though we're almost, he's going to be what 58. I'm going to be 55. I'm still waiting for him to pull some garbage, but we'll see.
They always
The joys of
they always
brotherhood.
keep you on point.
Yes,
though.
they
Yeah.
do. Yes, they do. I outweigh him by about 50 pounds. So,
Oh,
but he is.
keep him at arm's length.
Well, yeah, he does his like job though. He teaches mixed martial arts, so he does mostly Taekwondo and Muay Thai kickboxing. But I think he dabbles in a little jujitsu and whatnot. So that 50 pounds might not mean a whole lot. So I better throw the first punch if it happens.
Sucker punch.
That's right.
Absolutely. This is incredible. This is, I mean, I know I've been gone for a while, so anything was going to be incredible and taste good, but this reminds me of like kid wine. It's sweet, but not like cloyingly sweet. It's got a little bit of bite to it, but not much. Of the apple and the pear, I thought really came through. This is top notch.
It's like just like taking a bite out of a really, like a ripe apple. And like I said, the term Goldtropfen means drops of gold. And basically, when you see a word that ends in ER on a German label, so Peace Porter means it's of Peaceport. And so it's it tells you what you need to know, even if you don't speak German. So this is St. Christopher. That's the producer. Mosel is the region. Peace Porter is the district. Goldtropfen means drops of gold. Riesling is the grape, and Spätlese is the pick. And again, like I said, it's just kind of a nice spring wine. It's going to go well with the sweetness of the honey glaze, and then also balance out the saltiness of the ham. And so, like, I don't know. Do you remember that Brady Bunch episode where Bobby Brady was like pork chop, or maybe it was the middle one? He was like pork chops and applesauce.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That always just sort of rings in my head when I'm, trying to recommend this wine to people. I'm like pork chops and applesauce. But yeah, these are under $20 or about $20.
Steal.
Yeah, and
don't actually steal it from the store. It is a steal when you buy.
But you can buy 5 get 1 free. So technically, you're stealing 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6.
But it's allowed. So
it is allowed.
It's condoned. This is incredible. This is top notch. When you think about wine, at least on this show, when we talk about it, we think of Italy, Spain, France. Where's Germany rank? Like for wines, like how far down the list you have to go before you're like, oh yeah, Germany's actually got some pretty good stuff. What's like Germany known for in the wine industry?
Well, they're definitely known for Riesling. I mean, I believe that equates to like 85-90% of the German wine production.
Oh wow.
And what's interesting is that while it does have some sweetness, it also has some complexity. You just have to sort of decipher it a little bit more in your brain. And so like there are some wines that just make you go, whoa, there's a lot going on there. German Riesling isn't going to actually have that wow, but when you stop and actually break it down, like it's got a long finish, and those flavors kind of go back and forth, like I said, between the apple and pear, but it's got some racy acidity. It's really kind of a unique wine. And the other thing that's great about German Riesling is that the natural progression is that when people first start trying wine, they generally tend to like the sweeter stuff first. And then the more wines you try, the more your tastes develop and grow. And you gravitate more toward the drier, richer, more full-bodied wines, and then you bridge the gap into reds, and so that's sort of the natural thing. And what's interesting, my father, when he bought the store in 1978, German wine was his #1 selling category. They sold very, very little American wine. back then, California wines were considered very inferior to European old world wines. And so, but now we sell more American wines than anything else. So the industry has evolved definitely, but Germany certainly holds its place and is very, very historic too at the same time.
Carved out its niche at the very least.
Oh, I think more than that. It actually, is sort of a bedrock cornerstone of the whole industry and
Wow.
and is unique because no one else makes wine like they do.
German laws, Type A.
There
Shout
you
out
go.
Germany, they have their thing. So
Yeah, I mean, Austin Orman, you wouldn't know anything about being a Type A German, would you?
would I? Would I? Maybe it's in there somewhere. Maybe it
Maybe.
comes out from time to time.
Sure, sure.
That's the wine.
All right.
Incredible. Check it out again. The buy 5 get 1 free. Kevin
And-
Myers cork and bottle.
And you can
Check it
mix
out.
and match too, so you don't have to
Uh-huh.
buy all 6 of the same kind. So.
There you go. We are moving on then to the beer from the can. That is a heck of a can there, Kev. It looks very springy.
It
Kind of Mountain
looks-
Dew-ish, but it's not.
A little
right now.
Mountain Dewish, a little Oregon Duckish.
Yeah.
So this is Dogfish Head's Grateful Dead series, and it is their Citrus Daydream Lager. And I don't think we played proper homage to the passing of Bob Weir, so I thought this might be a great springtime beer, but also tipping the cap to one of the true legends of rock and roll and music in general. And as you know, I'm kind of a music nerd, and so cheers to Bob Weir. And Citrus Daydream Lager is going to will some sunshine back into existence after some much needed rain.
That's solid.
It's got my stamp of approval.
You're about to say something.
It
You're about
does.
to take another sip. You
Yeah,
went
it
back
got
for
my-
seconds right away.
It got my stamp of approval.
The citrus is sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't taste
It's not
it at first.
as powerful though as other ones, but I like it though. It's enough.
That's what I like about it, I think, is that, it's not like drinking lemonade or like one of those summer shandies, which
Yeah.
almost is too sweet. It's almost just kind of like squeezing a lemon into your beer or something like that on a hot day. That actually can go down pretty good.
Maybe I'm out of practice. I almost got just like hops citrus, more so than any specific like citrus fruit. A little bit of the lemon for sure, but
Well, you very well might have. Let's see. Lager with lime, lemongrass, lemon peel, and something I can't read because the type is too small.
let me see. Let me
right.
me crack at it. No pun
Something
intended. See what we
grain.
got
I
here.
couldn't quite tell what it was.
Fonio grain.
Don't know what that is.
Fonio. Okay, we have a computer. I can look this up. You guys ever do any cooking with lemongrass?
Not really.
You?
No, I was watching Food Network the other night and saw it. So you guys
Yeah,
are the
yeah.
grill masters. So I didn't know if you just like bought lemongrass.
What you
in
got
the store.
popping for Easter?
We're gonna do breakfast pizzas,
Yeah.
and then
What's gonna be on it?
So you can do it a variety of ways. If you want to go a little bit easier, you just take like a pita bread, and then you can make a hollandaise if you want.
Right.
Don't have to put a little cheese on there, but then poach a couple of eggs, or you can fry them too. But you want that yolk a little bit runny, and you put that over the top, some chopped bacon, and then the sort of kisser is that sriracha drizzle
Yeah.
with some arugula and some green onion or some chives on the top, and then some mimosas to wash it down with, and that's sort of our go-to Easter meal because we usually do it early.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Do you feel like you're walking in the morning sunshine when you drink this beer?
I can dig that.
Jay's gonna take a sip. Okay, Jay, do you feel like you're walking in the morning sunshine?
I can see that.
You can get there?
Yeah.
Okay, mission accomplished. It's what they said they were going for. Okay, so
Yeah.
fonio grain, I think I'm saying that right, also called a findi or acha, the term for two cultivated grasses that are important crops in parts of West Africa. Delicate, light, and fluffy West African grain with a mild, slightly nutty and earthy flavor, often compared to couscous, quinoa, or nutty brown butter.
Okay.
See where they're coming from with that?
I can see where that would go into beer. Like, I mean, when you think about like barley,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of like that. of course they use wheat a lot. They use oats a lot, but like that's sort of that small grain type thing that sort of computes.
Grain size about 1 to 1.5 millimeters long. So checks out.
Makes sense. And they make beer from rice too. Busch Light has rice in it.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So does Bud Light.
Busch Latte.
Busch Latte, the Blue Yummies.
The Blue Yummies, indeed. That did make the pilgrimage down to Oklahoma City eventually, and then Houston. Jake Sorensen and I were out walking around, and we stopped at an establishment down there in Houston, and the Busch Light guy pulled up 2 separate times. So got a rousing round of applause both times.
They were smart in that they gave them some forewarning, and when they, especially Houston, got more forewarning than I think Oklahoma City did. And I saw lots of articles where they're like, all right, we got you. We're going eastbound and down, Smokey and the Bandit. We're going to run some Busch Light to take care of Nebraska fans.
And Iowa fans, unfortunately, who had an extra couple days to
well,
stick around.
but
That was a bummer.
You can bleep those Iowa fans.
Man. Kev, we're a week removed. Any reflections on the basketball season that was?
Well, yes. My take on it was, if you would have asked any of us going in, if, number one, to the beginning of the season, we make the NCAA tournament, we would absolutely take it. Mm-hmm. Number two, we get the monkey off our back, we win the first round game, we would absolutely take it. Then if you would have told us Sweet 16, we would have been, boom, yep, count me in, I'm all good. Now the loss to Iowa stung, it always does.
Well, if we tell you we lead for 37 minutes in the Sweet 16.
And, and we got cold at the end. Those shots that normally fall weren't falling. They made a couple. It wasn't like they lit the nets on fire to close the game out. They just made a couple when we didn't. And, we just couldn't close the deal. But I'm proud of those guys. And the thing that I'm most proud of is that was probably one of the most gratifying styles of play that I've seen in quite some time. I love the team game. I love the fact that they're moving without the basketball. I love the fact that they're setting screens. I love the fact that they got backdoor cutters, and I love the fact that they can shoot, just flat out shoot. And so to me, it's ultimately a team game. I can't stand ISO stuff where you got one guy, everyone else is clearing out, watching, and he's taking a 1-on-3 and an ill-advised shot. And, that just drives me crazy. Yeah, he might get his 30, but get the whole team involved. And that's what I loved about this team. So props to Husker Hoops and Fred Hoiberg and Sam Hoiberg. And let's run it back next year and maybe make an 8.
How about that? It's achievable now. It's not just a pipe dream. They were right there.
Like yeah. The top has been blown off, and the curse has been lifted, and I'm just I'm proud of those guys, and more so I'm proud to be a Husker Athletics fan, and not have to wear a paper bag over my head one more year.
Well, if you want to raise a bottle of wine, not just a glass of wine, to all the seniors, you can buy those 5 and even get one for free to raise to pick another player on the roster if you want for free. Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South. I do have to ask though, with the get the name right, Citrus Daydream Lager, you said Grateful Dead series?
Yes.
More than one?
Yes.
Grateful Dead beer?
Yes.
In collaboration?
Correct.
Hello.
So they're varying the style seasonally. We've had a couple of different IPA versions. This is kind of the first like lager series or style. To me, it just screams spring. And like I said, paying homage to one of the true legends in rock and roll, the great Bob Weir.
Well, mission accomplished. Was it last week you tried to will some rain into existence?
Indeed, I did, and it worked. That was $1 billion rain. Hopefully, a lot of those places that are on fire got some help. I'm not sure what we're going to do with all those cattle. I mean, you can't ship out enough hay. There's just no way, and there's nothing for them to eat, and all their fences are burned down, and so I don't know how they're even going to find them, to be honest with you. But God bless them, and hopefully we can keep our ranchers afloat and bless them this Easter season.
Absolutely. A happy Easter to you and your family, Uncle Kev. Great to be back with you.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Take care.
We'll be back. We got more of Old School right here on the other side.
This is Grant Wister. I played at Nebraska, and after football, I wanted to build something in Nebraska that I was genuinely proud of. Champ Roofing is that. We built the whole company around one idea: do the job right and treat people well. Roof replacements, inspections, gutters, siding, whatever you need, our team is going to show up, communicate with you, and handle it with real care. Nebraska homeowners deserve that. Visit us at champ-roofing.com or call 402-858-7449.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
The wait is over. It's Truck Month at Anderson Ford, which means big selection and even bigger savings on Ford F-150s. Like lease a 2025 Ford F-150 for only $195 per month. The truck that's built to work hard and play hard. Another reason you'll experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1008409. Previous service letter. $195 per month for 36 months, 7,500 miles per year, 8,500 with type. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 3/31/26.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Husker fans, baseball is back in Lincoln, and it's time to get your tickets to Nebraska baseball. Catch great matchups all season long as the Huskers take on some of the top teams in the Big Ten, including Indiana, USC, and Iowa. Plus, don't miss midweek action against in-state rival Creighton and regional matchups with Kansas and Kansas State. Bring the whole family. General admission tickets start at just $10 or grab reserved seats for $15. Don't miss your chance to be part of the action this season. Get your tickets today by visiting huskers.com/tickets or by calling 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish top-shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
Tired of your furnace running overtime this winter? Let Heartland of Nebraska Windows save the day. Upgrade to stunning, energy-saving triple-pane vinyl windows installed by their team of experts. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty on everything, all for a price you can actually afford. Free estimates, flawless replacements, and peace of mind from a family-owned business you can trust. Don't wait. Call Heartland of Nebraska Windows at 402-430-3852 or visit heartlandofnebraskawindows.com today.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
This is Grant Wister. I played at Nebraska, and after football, I wanted to build something in Nebraska that I was genuinely proud of. Champ Roofing is that. We built the whole company around one idea: do the job right and treat people well. Roof replacements, inspections, gutters, siding, whatever you need, our team is going to show up, communicate with you, and handle it with real care. Nebraska homeowners deserve that. Visit us at champ-roofing.com or call 402-858-7449.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome back in. It is Old School. Royals fall to the Twins. Final score of 5-1. So we are back here on the radio dial. Austin Orman and Jay Foreman with you for the next hour and a half or so here on 93.7 The Ticket. Old School, as always, sponsored by the good folks over at Graham Tire Company. They've got 4 Lincoln locations. They've been proudly serving the Midwest for 75 years. More than just tires, they do all kinds of car and light truck repairs too. From brakes to oil changes, trust Graham Tire for service you can count on. Graham Tire, getting you to the places that matter most. 402-464-5685 if you want to be a part of the show. Jay, haven't really had a chance to dive into the college basketball coaching carousel much at all. Let's get the quick and older news out of the way first. Will Wade back to LSU.
Yeah.
American gangster. Goes like 105 and 50 something in his first tenure there at LSU. SEC championship, some NCAA tournament appearances, and then fired for, well, pretty much everything under the sun.
Right.
There at LSU. Takes a year off, goes down to McNeese for a couple of years, goes to North Carolina State, and then says, well, hey, guess what? Now I finally am back at LSU with enough resources to build a roster. Built a pretty dang expensive roster last year at NC State, delivered with a first 4 appearance and immediate exit with a loss to Texas. But man, Will Wade, American gangster, back at LSU. That athletic department is something right now.
Yeah, they in their mind they're humming. They know who they want, and they're opening up the checkbook to go and get him. And obviously, he's going to have a huge amount of money to go in this portal and sign guys. And look, they don't care about. I don't want to attack anybody's character, but you can say there's questionable at best about with Lane and it's for different reasons. Lane and Will Wade and
Mulkey.
So they'll push the envelope, and it's win or go home, and they're doing it. They had their eye on him. I think they reluctantly fired him the first time. They would have probably been okay with it, but the climate of college basketball at that point, you had to. He was caught more than twice, or more than enough times to be caught red-handed. It kind of, had him go, and then he went to McNeese State, turned them around, and so that was kind of just like going to the, the little brother there. Stayed in Louisiana, did some great things there. So no doubt that he can coach, and the rules are probably more relaxed for him. So I'm thinking this is right in the area where he can do well, and I expect nothing less.
Matt McMahon, who was hired away from Murray State, went 60 and 70 overall, 17 and 55 in 4 years in the SEC. But of course, in that whole leadership transition with football and the top of the athletic department and really the entire school, LSU decided to hire McNeese State's president, who hired Will Wade back for that first job. And pretty much from the jump, it was, okay, how long until Will Wade gets back? And of course, he's asked about that during the course of the year, and supposedly closed on his house in Baton Rouge back in February.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that these jobs are in at least they're talked about or floated to agents or him personally well in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't fault him. I mean, he's right at home. They're right at home with him.
Mm-hmm.
He can dance in the mud with them, and they like him as a partner. And so I'm not surprised by it at all. Like I said, I think Lane Kiffin to LSU was talked about after that Georgia loss, and it was pretty concrete after that. I have a good, reliable source about that. Might be wrong, but I mean, for somebody that tell me that, well, they kind of knew it down there, or they kind of felt it. And so these deals are not done in a week. They're done months in advance. And so they got their guy. We'll see where the dominoes go from there. Obviously, they're, up, his former employer up the street, there's a big hole missing there as far as who's going to lead that program with the portal open on Monday. No matter who they hire now, you're still behind, the 8 ball there. So Will Wade is off and running down there at LSU. I think Shrewsbury, the AD, who was, I guess, reluctantly like, all right, we'll keep him for. Remember when he got promoted to AD? Like, yeah, we'll keep him for now.
Yeah, I guess.
And then they were like, no, then they came back like a week later and was like, not even a week later. All right, he's the permanent one. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah.
2 for 2. And he re-upped with, Kim Mulkey as well. I think she denied any rumors that she was leaving. So now they just need the baseball team to get back to where they usually are. And that's obviously up in their second home away from home, and that's Omaha.
Yeah, they won the College World Series last year, and then it's been a rocky season for LSU baseball to this part. NC State, of course, fired some shots across the bow as soon as Will Wade left. But you mentioned that former employer there in Raleigh, Jay, just down the road from one of the biggest openings in the sport. Kentucky came open now a couple seasons ago after John Calipari left for Arkansas. Duke came open a few years ago, but they had the succession plan already in place. We talked yesterday about Kansas and Bill Self, who's returning, at least for the moment, to coach in 26-27. It was about time for Carolina, right? Roy Williams, the transition to Hubert Davis didn't go the way that they wanted to, despite spending a reported $14 million on the roster. Sources have told multiple outlets that they expect the spending to be the same, but who's going to be in charge of spending that money? Do you think that the Carolina ends up with a guy as its next head coach that's currently coaching in the Final Four?
Oof. Who?
Your options, obviously.
Oh, I know who they are.
Yeah, Hurley, Underwood, May, and Lloyd.
The only one I can see going down, May fits Michigan too much.
Just got there.
And he's just like a little rich, dorky dweeb that, you know what I'm saying?
Which some people would say fits Duke, but
it doesn't fit Carolina. The only person I think that fits Carolina is Hurley. Because he's going to bring the spiciness back. He's going to be able to recruit.
But was that Roy Williams? Was that Dean Smith?
He ain't like that dude. Listen, if you had button refs, you on a whole different ball game. I just think, I assume that he's coaching right now because I thought it was a foregone conclusion that was it McCallum from Iowa.
Ben McCollum.
McCollum was going to be there just because supposedly he went there and talked to him and, look, he did a great job. He's won everywhere he's been.
Mm-hmm.
He's tightened up. He's feisty. I think he's a great X's and O's. It'd be an upgrade for him at Carolina. I just wonder how he would do recruiting the type of players that they need at Carolina versus Iowa. Maybe that's the hang up. Whereas you look at the guys that are there right now. I guess you could see Underwood, but Underwood kind of fits Illinois, right?
Yeah, I don't see Brad Underwood at Carolina.
Maybe Lloyd, but he, right now where Lloyd, look, you're winning. I think he's winning 80% of his games.
Yo, yeah, Tommy Lloyd's been ridiculous since getting Arizona. Longtime Mark Few assistant at Gonzaga.
So you're a West Coast dude. You got the market cornered. You got a ton of money, obviously. What's the advantage of going there? The only person I can see going there is Hurley, just because the uptick in notoriety and all that. But he's got a great deal up there in UConn. I don't know how long they can sustain paying him that much, though. And the NIL. Because they really stretched themselves thin when he went out to the Lakers interview.
Yeah.
Carolina can handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he needs another challenge.
He just seems to fit that Northeast corridor so well, though. Think about the Hurley family and everything.
All these coaches fit. All these coaches fit. That's why when you were so quick to fire Hubert Davis, that's wrong. Because I can see Hurley going there. I can see May going there, but they're leaving places that they fit perfectly. Lloyd fits perfectly at Arizona. It's part of why they're in the Final Four. Underwood's in Illinois. Is there really an upgrade anywhere? You generally, is there? Does Carolina really hold the same weight when you just close your eyes and you say Carolina or Duke? It's Duke.
Yeah.
Prestige-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Carolina is anything to, turn your nose up at, but is it is Carolina a step up? Like, what are you gaining from going from Michigan to Carolina?
Michigan's a tier 2, 1B
Tier 2
job.
1B.
Carolina's a once in a lifetime job.
Okay.
Like Michigan's an underrated basketball school.
So then it's May. You ain't getting none. You ain't getting. There's no. You're not upgrading from Arizona, right? Arizona's tier 1 right now.
Right now. Yeah, Arizona's
So
probably the preeminent West Coast job right now because
Okay,
Few's
and-
not leaving Gonzaga. UCLA's a little diminished. It's Arizona right now.
So then when you think of Illinois, that Brad Underwood doesn't fit,
Not Carolina, no.
right? So he fits there. So there's no upgrade there for him. There's no risk. I mean, he'd be a sitting duck there. So then you look at Hurley or May. Do you think May fits there? Kind of, but yeah, right? It's like, yeah, he does, but he doesn't.
Yeah,
Right.
I could see it, but I don't know if I
see
could.
it. Yeah, I could see it. I don't know if I want to see it.
Could you see Tommy Lloyd taking a chance at going across the country out east to a once in a lifetime job and then knowing he can just get back to the West Coast whenever he wants? Because failing at Carolina won't do
damage to his reputation
necessarily because he's not going to fail.
He's not going to fail.
Strong, but
yeah.
if he does what Hubert Davis does, if that's just what Carolina is now, which I don't believe as much as I want to, if he wins, 22 to 25 games a year, occasionally in, 3 seed discussions, he won't get fired until he only wins 20 and, has a first round exit. But
do you want to even take that risk?
I mean, it's Carolina. It's Arizona, but it's Carolina.
What is your reason why you think they didn't hire Iowa's coach?
Because I think Otzelberger was higher on the list than McCollum.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
Would he be higher on your list?
I don't know. It depends on what you want. I think
would be higher on my list.
Maybe, probably, but can you see Carolina going all wine and cheese? Oh, what's this guy really done? He hasn't accomplished enough for us. We're Carolina. We can do better than little old Ben McCollum. So do you think that Carolina's decision makers, right? So I'm not saying that. I can just see Carolina's decision makers being above him. That's all I'm saying.
And with the new AD trying to make a splash higher. So then man, you're passing up a great opportunity. And then you're going to you're trying to really resume pimp yourself into thinking that you're back because you're going to hire somebody from a blue blood school. Or like a Final Four team.
Because Kelvin's not leaving Houston. That's obviously not happening.
And they ain't ready for Calvin.
And they're not.
They are not.
Otzelberger seems locked in at Iowa State unless he's like their Matt Campbell fallback down the line. Here's the wild card option, Jay. CBS Sports has reported this.
Fred Hoiberg?
The focus for the Tar Heels has narrowed to Arizona's Tommy Lloyd, Michigan's Dusty May, and Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan has said in the past, Carolina is the one college job or the college job he would consider them.
Now, yeah, then I think it's Billy Donovan. That'd be my number one
6
choice.
games left in the regular season for the NBA right now. Not that far around the corner, but
are they in the playoff hunt? Chicago?
I'm pulling the standings up right now. So the Chicago Bulls, Harrison Orange Chicago Bulls, actually are officially eliminated from playoff contention. The Eastern Conference playoffs are set. We're just waiting for proceeding.
They ain't gonna even get to the yeah, I'm out of here. Holler at a player, see you in the street. Sure, I'm gone.
On the one hand, a lot's changed since Billy Donovan was last in college. On the flip side, it's probably become more professionalized, and Billy Donovan might not be as far behind the curve as you might think because he's dealt with some of these issues, albeit in a different form in Chicago.
Who would you pick out of those 3?
I think that I would probably pick Lloyd. I think he's got the best combination. I mean, because you got Billy Donovan for 10 years, but Billy Donovan also strikes me as someone that could just walk away whenever he wants. A la Jay Wright, probably have more in the tank. I'm a little worried about the ethics behind what Dusty May has done potentially at Michigan over the last couple of years. I think where there's smoke, there's fire. I think they hired him for a reason. I think he institutionally fits a lot of what Michigan has stood for over the last 5 years or so. And if I'm Carolina and there's any worry about that, I don't think I want to get myself into that.
Like, what type of stuff has he done?
I mean, all sorts of recruiting stuff behind the scenes. And
Oh,
yeah.
but that's normal though now, right?
Well, it is, but I mean, you still get caught. It's still
Yeah.
a scarlet letter. And, I'm not saying that other coaches haven't done it. But I think Tommy Lloyd of those three offers the best combination of, potentially untapped upside, but he might be tapping into now at Arizona with enough proven track record, with enough runway to still improve and be coaching for a while. Is Tommy Lloyd an NBA guy? No. Would Tommy Lloyd leave Carolina and go to Gonzaga when Mark Few retires?
He's gone.
His quote most recently,
he said he's
was,
gone.
"I'm not a multitasker. You can ask my wife. I'm 100% locked in on Arizona basketball right now.
That's it.
This team deserves my full attention, so that's what I'm giving."
Yeah, that right now. You're done. He's gone. Right now, I'm here. Well, as soon as we lose, I'm gone.
If you're Carolina, you obviously get Arizona, Michigan playing. Is it worth waiting for Tommy Lloyd if Arizona's playing on Monday? Or if they lose, you switch your focus to Dusty May and get it done over the weekend?
No, you wait for the guy you want. You waited this long, and he's probably told him, "I'm not going to make a decision, or I don't want to be
I'm not going to make a decision,
or it's not going to. I don't want any word to get out until after we're eliminated." Because he says this here: "I have a real strong belief in this team, and this team deserves my full attention. So that's what I'm giving." Yeah, right now, and I'm out. He gone.
Are you calling your shot? Are you willing to say Tommy Lloyd?
And he said before this, he says this. What did he say? He's like, they'll hire another good coach after I'm gone. Yeah, I'm putting. That's it. I'm putting my chips in on him.
That one I think was taken a little out of context because he was trying to just put himself in the lineage of Arizona basketball. But in light of the Carolina job being open and the non-denials, it's not quite Will Wade level of non-denials right now, but
if you're
I think
staying
I'm
in
with
Arizona,
you.
he said, "Listen, I'm focused on this game. I'm focused on next year where I'm going to be at. I'm going to be Arizona Wildcats head coach."
Yeah.
Boom, end of story. He said, I'm focused on this team deserves my focus right now. I cannot multitask. So that lets me know that you told Carolina, stop calling me. I only want to focus on this basketball game that I got coming up. So you've already had the conversations. We're locked in. Do not call me until I'm done. And he says, this team is getting 100% of my focus right now.
Right now.
Yeah. And that ends come Saturday night when you play against Michigan. My 100% focus is on North Carolina, and I can't wait to get started, and I hate Duke. That's where he's going to be at. That's the dude if you don't hire Billy Donovan. Because if you're going to hire Billy Donovan and there's 6 games in and you're eliminated, he's gone. He's already there. Some assistant coach is getting some,
But is Billy Donovan too good a guy to just dip like that? Like, would Billy Donovan finish it out and just say, yeah, I know I'm gone. I know I'm taking this job, but I'll finish it out.
This professional. The guys leave all the time. Heck, he just had to cut somebody the other day.
Yeah,
listen,
about that.
Billy Donovan's got gray hairs, went out of this world with the team that he just had with those knuckleheads. He ready to be gone. It must be something about Chicago. Because I was talking to Khaled Al-Amin about Tim Floyd. He said Tim Floyd was out of control. I think Fred was on that team.
Ooh, maybe.
Or was he coaching then? Fred, are you listening? Does Fred listen to this late? He ain't got nothing to do but make some recruiting calls. He should be listening right now.
Trying to look this up.
Was Fred on that team?
Like the 2000 Bulls? 2001?
Yeah, Khaled Al-Amin was on there. But Tim Floyd was the head coach.
Okay, let's see here. 2000 and 2001 Chicago Bulls. Yep, Tim Floyd, 15-67. 8th in the NBA Central Division. These Chicago Bulls were led by, let's see here, Elton Brand, Jamal Crawford, Bryce Drew, Khaled Al-Amin, you mentioned. Fred Hoiberg was on that team.
Yeah.
AJ Guyton, Ron Mercer.
Ooh.
Meta World Peace was on that team.
Me and him had the same agent.
You and Meta?
Yeah. We never met, though. Me and
Ron.
Me and Ron.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Of all the people you didn't meet, Ron Artest is one you did not get to meet.
I read that article. I was like, I'll pass.
I'm good.
I'm good.
We have the same agent. We will
that's
stop
it.
that conversation there. That's funny. So yeah, remains to be seen. John and Cortland, appreciate you chiming in on our starter Heyman Jewelers text line. We will go to break. We'll wrap up hour 2.
Text line. Listen to this next survey, whatever poll that we got.
Okay.
Is this my boy coming up next?
It's your boy coming up next.
I've been there. Do you
want to ask the question before we go to break to get the responses?
Here's the question. Okay. Here's the question. What's the craziest reason, right? Is I'm asking this right? Craziest, funniest, or stupidest reason that you missed something of the utmost importance or was late for it the utmost important?
What caused you to miss
you?
Something important?
You don't have to name names, but what did you do
or not do
that made you miss something and so very part of either your job, your relationship, family? It could be like something for your kids.
402-464-5685. We'll give you the story after this.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'm Dr. Jeremy Hosai, candidate for the University of Nebraska Board of Regents. Husker athletics has never been stronger. Let's champion the same mindset across our entire university: academics, research, and opportunity. As a neurosurgeon, former regent, and proud Husker, I'm running to stand up for NU's future, because this matters to my family and yours. On May 12th, vote Dr. Jeremy Hosai for regent, for our students, for our future, and for Nebraska.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Pre-order your Hog Wild slow-smoked Easter ham today. Hog Wild selects the highest quality whole ham and slow smokes them until they're tender and delicious. Our 100% boneless ham is approximately 4 pounds and $50. Pre-order online at GoHogWild.com. Quantities are limited. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we are very excited to announce our spring sales event happening now at Coppell. We have 0% financing or up to $13,000 off select GMC and Chevrolet inventory. You heard that right, 0%. Or $13,000 off select inventory. We'd love to see you at the store or check us out online at coppellcars.com. Folks, this is really confident buying and confident driving. Stock number C127238 and G1739777 with approved credit.
In communities like ours, local relationships still matter. At Insight Partners, we believe we are better together. That's why insurance agencies across the Midwest have joined Insight Partners to better serve local customers and communities with all their insurance needs. From personal to commercial or specialty insurance, your local Insight Partners team is here to help protect what matters most. Insight Partners, better together. Learn more at myInspartners.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today: showers likely this morning, then decreasing clouds this afternoon. See a high around 58. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a light breeze, a low around 39. And tomorrow, a chance of showers, otherwise mainly cloudy skies will be breezy, a high around 60. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket. Thank you to theticketfm.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Culture and Coffee with Mike Smith and the Bowie Boys is back this Friday, April 3rd, featuring members from UNL's Theta Chi fraternity to discuss their Car Smash philanthropy. Stop by this Friday between 5 and 8 p.m. as we turn the ticket into a skate park. That's right, a skate park, and also highlight the Car Smash philanthropy with Theta Chi. Again, that's 5 to 8 p.m. this Friday, April 3rd, for a live broadcast of Culture and Coffee from 5 to 7 p.m. and a Vintage Market Plus skate experience hosted by the Bowie Boys from 7 to 8 p.m. This is a party you won't want to miss, sponsored by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School, final segment of our 4 o'clock hour, as always, brought to you by Love Volleyball Nebraska. Final regular season home match coming up on Saturday. Get your tickets, lovbneb.com. Austin Orman and Jay Foreman with you. You don't want to miss this segment like Todd Monken missed the NFL head coach's photo. Once a year at the meetings, they take a picture of all the head coaches, Jay. And supposedly, Todd Monken missed this photo because he was getting his haircut to be ready to take this photo. That's the ESPN report.
You're getting a haircut?
That's what ESPN reported. Browns head coach Todd Monken misses coach's photo for haircut. Todd Monken needed only 20 more minutes. On Monday, the Cleveland Browns head coach was one of 2 coaches missing from the NFL's annual coaches photo. While Monken missed the group photo, which is supposed to feature all 32 head coaches, it seemed to be for a good reason. According to ESPN, the photo was taken immediately after a coaches meeting, which Monken skipped to receive a fresh cut for the group photo, which was scheduled to be taken at noon. The meeting was adjourned early.
That's not what I read.
As Monken headed toward the location for the picture, Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Liam Cohen stopped to inform him the photo had already been taken 20 minutes before their encounter. Regardless of if it's that or what you heard, it's hilarious.
I heard you dropping a deuce. Maybe that was a spoof. But
which is worse?
Getting a haircut.
Specifically for this picture. You're going to get your haircut, get buzzed real quick.
Yeah, because you have like a team barber before you leave the city of Cleveland that will come to the office and give you a haircut. That's why I think
not fresh enough.
Yeah, that's why I think it's BS.
So you think the NFL and its official photographer couldn't just wait 5 more minutes for Todd Monken to finish handling business?
I think he got rookie hazed there by some of the older guys, and they were laughing. As you saw, Sean Payton and the guy next to him were laughing. They're like, this dude's probably in there having a bowel movement and was laughing. Where is he? If you ever want to be put in check and know where you're at in the head coaching totem pole, you just now realize you're the Cleveland Browns head coach. You get zero respect.
If you didn't realize it before.
They said, don't worry about next year. He won't be in it next year anyways.
You missed your shot.
Yeah.
You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This
messages
opportunity
here,
comes once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
All
a
right.
couple texts in here.
John in Cortland said, thought about it. So many years, so many opportunities. Was late for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Morning pheasant and quail hunting was really good. 5025, my wife, not a sports gal, scheduled our engagement pictures during the Colorado football game last year. But were you late for the engagement pictures because of the game? That's the question.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So then 3650, I wasn't late, but I did convince my wife to leave her grandpa's funeral in Crawford to drive across the state to the Nebraska versus Miami home game. Funeral was the same morning as the game. left as soon as the service was done.
Not bad. I don't have much room to talk, though.
Just for Nebraska to put Miami in the dirt.
Yeah. I missed the team bus watching a movie.
Was it a good movie?
It was. I knew I was.
Oscar winner?
I think I knew I was going to be inactive.
Ah.
And it was Christmas, the day after Christmas. So you're kind of like up there and you're on your own and you're in New England. I swore the buses. I'd never missed anything.
Except one bus.
And when I came down, downstairs, I dropped my bags. I was running around like, where is it? Everybody gone. Hopped in that cab. Hey, man, walked in there, man.
Zoomed up to Foxborough.
My heart was beating, man. I was so embarrassed. So I can't really make fun of him too much. I was watching.
Who saw you first when you got there?
Pat Williams. And when you in the New England visitor locker room was so small, so you can't sneak in there. So what I did is this. I was like, all right, guys haven't went out there. So I took my bags, right, my garment bag, and I put it outside. So then I took off my suit jacket, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
and untied my tie. And so I was acting like I was outside talking to somebody. But I think they knew. Wade knew. Wade knew. He came past me like a week later. He's like, you got something to tell me? I was like, yeah, I'll be up in your office. He didn't find me, but he was definitely upset with me, though.
And it never happened again.
Never happened again. Watching a stupid movie. And it wasn't like I was watching some movie that like I sometimes used to watch.
Wasn't really making you think or anything.
Yeah, like Gladiator or something. Get ready to watch again. I was just up there just chilling. We were in the Four
Dumb and Dumber.
We were like in the Four Seasons Hotel. I was just living the life, watching movies.
I saw your Four Seasons last week.
Man, it makes my sphincter muscle get tight right now just thinking about it.
Wade's just
There is no feeling like that, Austin. I swear to God. I'm a rookie doing this.
Oh.
Yeah. So it wasn't like I've been established yet.
Even like second year, you could maybe. You were a rookie?
Yeah.
And you missed it for not even like a good movie.
Just being a dummy.
And
it
you
wasn't
didn't
like
get fined?
it wasn't like no, he didn't find me because I told him. He said if I didn't tell him or come to him like a man, he would have fined me. Wade was a player's coach. He treats you like a man until you act like a little boy.
Value of accountability, kids. Pay attention. Take your notes.
But I was at team breakfast. It wasn't like I'd overslept. You
were there.
Yeah.
You're around.
Yeah.
Anything else good on the text line before we go to break?
Oh, Big Bang Hank said he moved up his wedding a week so he could go to Nebraska, Oregon, last ranked team we beat.
Oh, there
that was
we
at
go.
home.
Yeah.
Who was the quarterback?
Touchdown Tommy Armstrong.
And who was Oregon's quarterback?
Oh, that was Prukop.
Yep.
Yep.
And remember they had the running back that was running all over. Then he got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early on.
Yeah.
Mark Helfrich went for 2 after every touchdown.
There you go.
I had initially scheduled my wedding on a bye week over the COVID year. Then they changed the schedule, and it was too late to reschedule it. So we luckily had an afternoon wedding. It was a morning game.
Oh, that's good then.
So everyone else got to watch the game. I got to watch like the first 3 quarters of Nebraska and
Minnesota.
Ohio State.
Oh, that's all you needed to see then.
Yeah, it was over at halftime.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I was hoping it wasn't that Nebraska-Minnesota game when Minnesota came in here with like 30 guys and won.
Oh, yeah, no. Come to find out, I actually got married the week after Jake and Elizabeth did. Same year and everything. Yeah, just 1 week apart.
Interesting.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
So that's the closest I've ever come to missing something like that. But I made it upstairs for pictures in time.
There you go.
Because the game was bad. Had the game been good, wife would have been taking pictures on her own. So. Or we would have taken pictures downstairs in the basement of the game in the background.
You would have been like, hurry up. You would have been sitting there. And then you know what? The camera would, like, battery would have went out or flash went out. You would have been mad as heck. Your butt would have been there taking pictures.
Yeah, odds are good. All right, hour 3 of the show. Keep your responses coming. What's the funniest, silliest, dumbest reason you've missed or had to reschedule something important for? 402-464-5685. Back with hour 3 of the show.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
John just tried Runza's new Jammin' Bacon Cheeseburger with its sweet heat bacon jam, pepper jack cheese, bacon, and cream cheese.
Whoa, this burger's like totally
What?
You know, boom, 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 boom.
Not sure I'm getting it.
It's totally jammin'?
Ah, I see. Well, don't jam with your mouth full. Try the Jammin' Bacon Cheeseburger. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Culture and Coffee with Mike Smith and the Bowie Boys is back this Friday, April 3rd, featuring members from UNL's Theta Chi fraternity to discuss their Car Smash philanthropy. Stop by this Friday between 5 and 8 p.m. as we turn the ticket into a skate park. That's right, a skate park, and also highlight the Car Smash philanthropy with Theta Chi. Again, that's 5 to 8 p.m. this Friday, April 3rd for a live broadcast of Culture and Coffee from 5 to 7 p.m. and a Vintage Market Plus skate experience hosted by the Bowie Boys from 7 to 8 p.m. This is a party you won't want to miss, sponsored by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts, answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Hour 3, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School, the New School Way, brought to you, or live in effect here at 1040 O Street, brought to you by Graham Tire. Take care of all your needs for your car or truck, big or small, but more importantly, they will get you service with excellent service and tires quickly. We will not need them. I'm putting it out there. We will not need snow tires, but if you have low on tread, Graham Tires is a place to go.
Kind of funny. We were just talking about this, and then I know we have plenty more to get into. But Carter Jensen, Royals rookie, was in today's initial lineup and then was scratched right before the game. I think he came in to catch later in the game after the Royals pinch ran for Salvador Perez. He overslept. Happens to everyone all the time, you know?
It can happen to you, man. It's just the rookie year is I'd never been late. I never missed a practice or anything like that. It was just being a dummy. Just stupid. Just, you know what I mean? Just, I can't believe I said, look, it was like, man, I came down there, man. It was like, what was that when Macaulay Culkin came on?
Yeah.
That was me. You know, but, yeah, so it's, it does happen. Now there's some guys that come in the league and it's kind of a pattern. For me, it wasn't a pattern.
Yeah.
Luckily enough.
One of the leaders in the Royals clubhouse, Vinny Pasquantino, here is his statement on it. You got a 36-year-old catcher who's preparing to DH today. His world gets a little rocked that an hour and a half before the game, he's not going to be DHing. Give credit to Salvi today for being ready. First and foremost, I'm glad Carter's okay. I mean, that was kind of the initial thought when you're trying to get a hold of his parents and everything like that. Just make sure he's okay. Yeah. Once you find out he's okay, all right, it's a growing moment. He's really young. There are some things that cannot happen, and that's one of them. So he's going to have to wear it on the chin. Same way anybody would have to. It can't happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. But it's one of those things you just can't afford mistakes like that in this game. Just got to move forward the best he can. I know he feels really bad. I know it was not his favorite drive to the field this morning, but it wasn't our favorite morning either, trying to figure out what was going on. He'll learn from it, grow a little bit. We're here for him, though. It's not like anybody's mad at him. Things happen. But you got to learn from mistakes like that and maybe get another alarm clock or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest transition when you're a rookie in any sport, and obviously we're going to talk a little bit NFL draft here with coming up very soon, is learning. I mean, you're very structured and they kind of hold your hand in college, and you got to be mature because – you know, it is a job, but you have way more free time. You don't have any classes. You don't have any obligations with that kind of distract you from or not to eliminate the distractions outside of football. So when you get out of practice, I mean, even if it's a normal work day, once I kind of got in my routine and kind of figured out how to be a pro, you know, you get there, let's just say like you kind of get going at 7. So you're in the facility. You know, maybe getting the workout in or just getting breakfast and then a workout at 7, you know, realistically, depending on, the workload of that day, you could be done 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, quarterbacks and, you know, when I became a little bit more established, you know, it was definitely 12-hour days for Wednesday and Thursday for sure. And I'd go in on an off day, a Tuesday, and put in some work on Monday. And then Friday, you start to taper off as you get towards the game and be very strategic about your time. So when you're a young rookie, which I learned which is totally different than this young man, is that you have a lot of time. And sometimes, you know, look, you're trying to find stuff to do. Whether we'd get together over at Antoine Winfield's house, we played the heck out of PlayStation. We played little cards. We weren't really gambling that much. The guys that really like to gamble would probably go up to the casino and stuff like that. We'd all go up there together, but I've never been a gambler. I don't understand it. I don't know how to do it. At that time, I didn't have enough money to do it, so I wasn't going to.
That's why you're on the Steve Stevens money management plane.
That's
instead.
right. And I saw on the plane when I was a rookie, and Bruce Smith, the only time that he talked to me when I was a rookie is he had his own row. Thurman had the other. I was pretty much close to the crapper because I was a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
And I had
smell that.
Yeah, right. So, you know, it's the rookie treatment. That's fine. And we're coming back from a game. Actually, at that time, we had played. It was either at the Dolphins. It was at the Dolphins, I think, or it was when we played. It had to be because it was a long plane ride. And I was walking past, and Bruce put this wad of money because they play this game called Boo-Ray, and that game can get. I've seen guys lose checks, and you lose friendships at times. It'd be you know. He was a high roller, and some of the guys that can only afford it could play. And he's like, "Hey, rookie, come here." And I was like, "Hey, what's because then I didn't think he needs something or something. Put it right here in my shirt pocket. He's like, "Hold that for me. I'm the house. House always wins,
right?
Generally, especially when they do like I'd watch and see in between, and I'm like, oh man, some guys lose, and so when you're a rookie, you just try to find stuff to do, and sometimes if you're on your own with a lot of veterans, then you can forget to set an alarm. Like back then, we had real alarm clocks.
Yeah.
Cell phones were very new. Probably no excuse now. You can set 2 or 3 alarms.
Well, the other complicating factor, again, I mean, I'm all on board with the no excuses for it. Royals played a marathon, like near 4-hour game yesterday.
Yeah.
That bled into the night. He had a pretty frustrating day. I think it was 0 for his first 4 with 3 strikeouts before he got a late hit in that one. And then have to turn around and play again early today.
Yeah.
And he was with the team last year in September and October, the end of the season when the rosters expanded. But I don't know if they had any of that situation where you play a game late one night, then you get up to play early the next day, especially in the middle of the week, right? Because you'll do that sometimes Saturday afternoon or evening into a Sunday late morning or early afternoon game for getaway day. But it's probably the first, maybe second time he's experienced something like that. He just went through the marathon playing, and
that
crap
can happen.
happens.
Yeah, that can happen. And again, your routine and being able to deal with it. And I mean, it's an honest mistake, and you make mistakes. If you get fined, you get fined. You got to just kind of wear it. And like the the guy said in the clubhouse, you got to deal with it and move on. You can't let it linger because he's not like a Keon Coleman, right? And when it's more of a pattern and you're not playing well. So, look, it's as long as it's not a pattern, everybody's done it. I mean, heck, I won't name any names, but there's a pretty predominant player. Well, first of all, the stories are out there with Lawrence Taylor always being seen. Now, granted, not everybody's Lawrence Taylor, but I played with some guys that were pretty prominent players that would, miss meetings and stuff like that because of activities. Now, when the lights came on, though, it was lights, camera, action. So you kind of deal with it. But I think guys don't do it that much, but everybody goes through it. Everybody is late or something. I mean, things can happen. I mean, I've been where guys couldn't make it to practice because, you had, whiteout snow in Buffalo. There's nothing you can do. You're stuck at home, literally. Not DeAndre Ayton type of
Portland
stuff,
or whatever, yeah.
But Buffalo is really an excuse to do that, to, miss a game or miss a practice. But I've seen guys have a little bit too much fun in Houston,
Is that possible?
It is possible. In the big cities like that, that's why I was blessed to be in Buffalo early in my career.
The Lincoln of the NFL.
Yeah, that there's not a lot. There's stuff to do, but it's not every single night. In Houston, you could probably go out every single night. And when you're kind of, some of these guys that when I was on the expansion draft guys, I think the first 2 years of their contract were guaranteed because you had like all the salary cap and you needed good players. So those guys really were comfortable. I got traded there trying to earn my contract. But so, you had guys that would, you look behind and miss the whole team meeting, not even late.
Just the whole thing.
Yeah. That's a big, being late. So here's the difference. Being late is one area of fine. Okay. Missing it is huge. Like way more.
So let's say you're late to a meeting and, you have practice afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't the savvy thing to do just go get ready for practice and then
you didn't
get working early? Or are you supposed to be late to the meeting, just show up in principle and then get your stuff on later and be late to practice too?
Well, you're not. If you're that late, if you miss that many meetings, if you miss all those meetings up to before practice, you're out of a whole paycheck. It's early, so you miss so normally we'd have like an 8:15, 8:30 team meeting.
Okay.
Right? So there's no really obligations before that. That's I would come in, I would work out, I would eat, you know what I mean? And if I could pop in some film or something like that, because it's either you have a special teams meeting or you have a team meeting in special teams or whatever it is. Because sometimes you would just have a special teams meeting. Because Dom, in this case, I'm talking about this one particular situation, Dom wouldn't always have a team meeting at that point in time. But the first meeting is always at 8:30. Whether it's special teams or team meeting. And then the schedule is after that, right?
After that. Gotcha.
So then you would go into offense, defense breakdown. so the defense would meet, offense would meet. Then you'd go to individual meeting. So, and then you would have another, like after lunch, you'd have lunch and lift.
Gotcha.
Then another small meetings. Then you go to practice. If you miss,
so you shouldn't be 4 hours late.
No.
Okay.
You miss 4 hours, you ain't playing. You done.
Yeah.
You done for the week, unless it's something that like an emergency or whatever. So I've never had a teammate miss that much. Unless it was something family oriented. But I've seen some guys miss, consistently. Team meetings.
Gotcha.
Rookies included and stuff like that. I mean, some guys will just be out there, be knocked out and stuff. I mean, just you see some rookies where it's like, it's a lot. You could tell whatever program they came from in college wasn't close to the type of structure or intensity that I was able to have in college, because they're struggling just with,
the basics,
just the basics.
Yeah.
Right. Working hard, doing more, being in meetings, being, not just showing up at, 8:15 and you got 8:30 meeting, that type of stuff. Learn how to be a pro. And, but now I think it's really probably more an easier transition because college programs are running it like that right now with NIL and parity and stuff like that. And, and the amount of time that they're at the facility and the obligations in the off season and stuff like that is not such a big transition.
I know you've talked about how prepared you felt going to the NFL from Nebraska. Was it that way for half your teammates? More, less?
I don't know about like in my rookie class.
Yeah, rookie class or guys that you were close with.
Yeah, my rookie class, I felt like for the majority of the guys was it, because you got to think we had Antoine Winfield from Ohio State, Peerless Price from Tennessee, Sean Bryson from Tennessee, Keith Newman from University of North Carolina. Now, for Bobby Collins, who was a legend, Bobby Collins was a Bobby Boucher. We used to call him Bobby Boucher Collins because Bobby Collins had the worst body I've ever seen of an NFL player.
Outside of Dookie Ray?
Rayon just looked like crap in his uniform. He
gotcha.
was
Okay.
cut
Gotcha.
up, but just how he did, like, because here's why Ray, we used to call him that, because he popped his Bursa sack on his elbow. But then he went to like play it against sports or whatever it is and got a hockey pad. But it was an old hockey like elbow thing. But it was like, it used to be white, but it had been worn. So it's kind of like crappy.
Yeah, like yellow.
Brown,
brown, yellow, yeah.
So he would wear that. And then he would wear it like he only, like, for whatever reason, he never wore like new gloves. So he would cut off a finger here and then they get frayed. He just looked horrible. And then he'd always have like his chin strap didn't fit right. And then we wore double-sided tape to kind of make our jerseys tight.
Yeah.
So you would usually pay the ball boys to do that, or the equipment guy to do that. You'd pay them at the end of the year, or you do them per game, depending on where you were at, tenure or whatever. Well, Rayon was a free agent, street free agent, so he didn't have a lot of money. So he did it himself. Well, the 3 and 9 were always just jacked up. I mean, he looked horrible in his uniform. You know what I mean?
But he was cut, unlike Bobby Boucher Collins.
But Bobby Collins, man, listen. Bobby
coming from North Alabama.
Listen, he was the funniest thing. He had a gold tooth like right here, like here, right? And then he had
Home Alone style.
Yeah, but he had one here and then one there. And he would always like look at me like the sideways. Like, he was like,
make sure you saw it,
right? But I always was interested in him just because, bro, you from North Alabama, like what are you doing here, right?
How'd you get here,
right? Because Sheldon Jackson was like, I think a preseason All-American. He got drafted in the 7th round. And then we had Amon Hatcher and those guys. And so Bobby was like, we were all rookies together. And he used to have the biggest dip in his mouth. And I'm like, first of all, I'd never seen a brother dip like on a regular.
Okay.
And his body was so bad. He was kind of big like up top, but he reminded me of one of my uncles. He had like a little boiler gut. But let me tell you something, man. That brother ran like a 4.48, 4.5. He would run because when I seen him break the huddle, right? First of all, he didn't wear any gloves or nothing. So he never he's like, if we didn't have no tape at North Alabama. He got down in this stance and he ran that seam route. You better be on your horse now. Now it's 50-50 whether you're going to catch it or know where he's going. But that's the thing.
But he can move.
And the worst part of this is that Rusty Jones, who's like one of the godfathers in NFL, like weight coaches, right? Because his fame came from what is now like tempo offense / air raid. They had the K gun for Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
So what he did was he came up with a offseason running program for the whole team so they could really wear teams out. Offensive linemen that could run and they were lean and all that. And he had us on this special diet or whatever. Well, he used to have this stupid machine called the bod pod. So you sit in there.
The bod pod?
Yeah. So you sit in there in like shorts or whatever, like tights.
Underwear Olympics 2.0.
Yeah, like tights. And you put like a head thing on and then you breathe through this tube. And it was supposed to.
You're doing Stranger Things before Stranger Things.
And you're in and then they shut the door. And it's like, but it's supposed to be the most accurate, like, body compensation, with your body fat, right?
Yeah.
And that was a big deal back then. And, so like like me and some guys are just naturally like Keith Newman he was just yoked and he was just built, and his was always pretty low and mine was decent. I had to work at it because, you're eating the diet and all this and, Rusty's like, you got to do this. And we're eating these egg beaters and that stuff was nasty. And he keep you on a calorie deficit to keep you lean. And then it turns into muscle. So he's telling all that. And I'm coming from Nebraska where it's bigger, faster, stronger, meat and potatoes and all that. But he's talking about you want to be leaner so you can run and it'll help you later in the season to make plays. And this is how we're able to make our push. Less injuries, fresher legs, and all this other stuff. Well, I know if I'm walking down the street, and I'm not, by no means did I ever think I was saying I was Adonis or anything, but I was in, pretty,
in NFL shape.
Yeah, and I was in good shape. It was, I was lean, I had like a little, resemblance of a six pack and was, pretty yoked, and I worked hard at it.
You didn't have to Sharpie it on or anything.
No, I was there. I was good. It wasn't like they were like bodybuilders or Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything like that, but I was pretty jacked, right? If you saw me walking down the street with my shirt off, you'd be like, yeah, that would be pretty. But if you saw Bobby Collins, then he knew how to manipulate the system in that thing, and he had 5% body fat. I used to be so mad at him. He had man boobs and everything, and he would get in there with so much confidence. So it
body
made,
positivity.
It made everybody so mad. It was so mad that we were trying to take him out. Like every time he'd drop a pass, Keith Newman was like, "That's 5%. That's 5%." We were so mad. Sam Rogers, who had struggled to kind of get his body comp down, he was an outside linebacker. He was like, "Ain't no way this dude got 5%." And he would strut around there with his dip, eat anything, pork chops. I remember I went over to his townhouse one time, third year, and we kind of, when you make the team, he lived right down the street. We all kind of like, when we used to know, once we made the team, everybody was like, all right, where's like kind of the cheapest, nicest places we could stay. So it was like, we were like college kids. We were all over there. So I go down to his house, come in and knock on his door, go in there. He's got his music going on. He's eating fried pork chops. You know what I mean? Mashed potatoes and gravy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Here I am trying to like eat chicken breast from
rice, broccoli.
Right, from the Outback. Do you want it loaded? No, just a little bit of butter, sour cream. Bobby Boucher, the legend. Bobby, sometimes I wonder, where is he?
Do we think we can find this?
I highly doubt. I look him up sometimes or try to find him on Facebook. I can't find him.
Let's see here. Bobby Collins, American football coach, is coming up.
That's not him.
Bobby Collins, footballer, soccer player, is coming up.
That's not him.
It's also not him. Let's see. Would it be this guy?
Nope.
Mm-mm. Different Bobby Collins. Dang it.
Yeah. That's not him.
Because that guy's in Rock Hill.
Nope.
Okay.
I've looked him up just on a whim sometimes. I don't know where he's at, and he's not in the alumni database.
Oh. Living his best life off back road in North Alabama somewhere.
That's exactly. He went from Buffalo.
Chris Raff, go find Bobby Collins.
He went right. He left Buffalo, went to Green Bay, and I remember talking to somebody up there that played with him, and they're like, "Man, he's like, that's the fastest dude we ever seen, but he can never." They used to call him "can't get right," couldn't get the plays right. But he was a great teammate, man. I mean, Bobby Collins was just one of those dudes, and that's the great thing about the NFL. You just come across dudes that just, to this day, we still talk about them.
Happy to be there, but not just happy to be there.
Yeah, I mean, but he tried and stuff like that, and then you got some guys that, the oddest NFL story. I'll tell this real quick, and then we'll have to go short segment. Is we were down at the Texans alumni weekend, the first one. I think Andre went into the Ring of Fame. So it was a big weekend. Mr. McNair, I think he might have been still alive then, or it was the first alumni week. Because remember, the NFL kind of made it a big deal, and so they flew us all down there. We got, it was great. It was laid out. But I remember Travis Johnson was down there, and he's funny, right? Okay. And he's a Florida State guy, so he don't hold no grudges, and he'll say whatever is on his mind. And there was this one guy down there, and he was it was a bald head, and he had what do they call when your beard is real thin, like the chin strap beard? Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah.
But he was bald headed and kind of jacked or whatever.
Okay.
And I was like, man, you kind of see him. I was like, damn, what position he played? Because the Texans had struggled. They were really good and struggled. I was like, yeah, well, he probably was there when they were bad. I was like, dang, is he offensive lineman? And everybody kept thinking that we're about 2 days into it, and everybody's like, did he play with you? I was like, I know he wasn't here when I was there. Travis was like, he wasn't here when I was there. So then you start adding up the years, right? The weekend, so we get to the last day, and Houston police is at the hotel. And we're down where you were staying.
Okay.
Right? That's where we were, down there.
Yep.
And, that's a pretty nice area where we're at, right?
Yeah.
And so you come down, we're getting ready to go to the game, because they're about to honor us at halftime and stuff. And you see
the buzzes at the door.
Yeah. Well, no, they're in the lobby.
Oh, in the lobby.
Waiting for somebody. And they're looking at
peeled.
Because you had to wear they gave us a pullover, a shirt, and a name tag.
Gotcha.
So they're looking at name tags. I'm like, I know I'm clean. And I knew everybody got home because we all rode the bus that we had back from the party. I'm like, man, what happened? What's up? Well, then they handcuffed homeboy. And here's the deal. Somebody was on the radio talking about Houston Alumni Weekend. He heard it, and then he emailed Candace and the people there and said, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I was on the team there, and he really just had a whole weekend. He ate steak and lobster. He drank on the house, got a whole bunch of swag. Oh, yeah. He lived it up. To this day in our group, we have a Texans alumni group, like group me thing.
Okay.
Every time it's up, everybody's like, where is he? Yeah.
That's legendary.
Oh, he's a legend.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. Do you come across dudes? They'll be a legend. Bobby Collins or whoever this dude is. Anyways, we're going to take a quick break, come back. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. We will talk about the NFL draft for our Nebraska players. Emmett Johnson's moving up in rapid pace. Who else could possibly get drafted or make a name for themselves on the NFL roster? Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The looking forecast for today. Showers likely this morning, then decreasing clouds this afternoon. See a high around 58. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a light breeze, a low around 39. And tomorrow, a chance of showers. Otherwise, mainly cloudy skies will be breezy. A high around 60. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket. and theticketfm.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Do you ever feel okay in your current job and profession, but wonder if there's a better company that can offer more? Vision Mechanical is now hiring for journeyman plumbers and HVAC service technicians. Vision Mechanical offers top-of-the-industry wages, 100% paid health, disability, and life insurance, 401k with employee match, and paid holidays and vacation. Vision Mechanical believes in craftsmanship, teamwork, and building a better future one project at a time. Apply today or learn more at visionmechanical.net or email Ron at vmech.net.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And electrical.
MMA is back this Saturday with VFL 6 spring session at the complex. Lincoln's best amateur and professional MMA fighters will display their best performances, headlined by a welterweight bout between Trayson Havel and Ezra Dozier. Get your tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com, where you can also get pay-per-view streaming. Enjoy the atmosphere and festivities, which are second to none. Doors open at 6 p.m. and first bout is at 7 p.m. this Saturday, April 4th for VFL 6 at the complex at 1555 Yolanda Avenue.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs.
Culture and Coffee with Mike Smith and the Bowie Boys is back this Friday, April 3rd, featuring members from UNL's Theta Chi fraternity to discuss their car smash philanthropy. Stop by this Friday between 5 and 8 p.m. as we turn the ticket into a skate park. That's right, a skate park, and also highlight the car smash philanthropy with Theta Chi. Again, that's 5 to 8 p.m. this Friday, April 3rd, for a live broadcast of Culture and Coffee from 5 to 7 p.m. and a Vintage Market Plus skate experience hosted by the Bowie Boys from 7 to 8 p.m. This is a party you won't want to miss, sponsored by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers.
In communities like ours, local relationships still matter. At Insight Partners, we believe we are better together. That's why insurance agencies across the Midwest have joined Insight Partners to better serve local customers and communities with all their insurance needs. From personal to commercial or specialty insurance, your local Insight Partners team is here to help protect what matters most. Insight Partners, better together. Learn more at myinspartners.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. Old school, a little bit shorter segment there because we went a little bit long, but well worth it. We're going to move on here. Guy that's moving on up, though, is Emmett Johnson. I mean, obviously this always happens. And, a lot of times that guys are doing their mock drafts or, they're trying to hitch their wagon to a guy that they think that could possibly, go a little higher. And they say, I told you so. But, I think Emmett's had, obviously had a great – it couldn't have lined up any better for him if you look at where he was last year going into last season, this time last year. People, I think he played excellent the last 3 or 4 games, of that year. And people were questioning whether he could, answer the bell 12 games. And obviously he answered that and nullified that right away, but had a phenomenal year, was an All-American and was a really, really probably the biggest bright spot on the team last year. And obviously declared to go pros, and has had a really good off season for him, or, pro off season, or wannabe pro off season, where he went to the combine, did really well for him. And, I know he interviewed well. He's Trump tight off the field, really good leadership skills, a guy that you want to have in the locker room, and really took advantage of his opportunity. So when you start to see some of that, even though he wasn't at the Senior Bowl, some guys, had a little bit more momentum after the Senior Bowl. He kind of gained his momentum back at the combine, which is great because it's your lasting impression is the longest impression. And then obviously, had the pro day, which, he did well, obviously, like he always does. And, he's going on a free agent, or not a free agent visit, but a pre-draft visit up to Minnesota. Fits their type as far as when you look at Aaron Jones and the hometown kid. Minnesota's done a really good job. The total opposite from like when Denny Green was there, they would never draft or bring in local guys. They kind of reluctantly drafted Matt Burke, and he ended up being one of the best centers ever, and kind of didn't do that after that. And then now this new regime and ownership really likes that. And so he's going for a visit up there, I think April 7th. But on some mock drafts, they got him moving up, potentially in the second round. So, some people have him the number 2 back behind Love, and, anywhere, I've never seen him lower than number 5. Mm-hmm. Now that all is great until, whoever's going to draft you, and you want to make sure, I saw Emmett talk to him a little bit, and he's, obviously talked to, all the teams, and they were, interviewing him or whatever. And I was, had to tell him, like my agent told me, is like, that's all great. You just need one team.
Yeah.
One team. Everybody likes you. The team that drafts you loves you, or likes you a lot more than everybody else. And also, as long as there's not something that really upsets the draft, and everything kind of stays on schedule, quarterback goes here, linemen go here, outside rushers go here, DBs go here. He'll probably go somewhere between second and third round. So that's a great opportunity for him.
Yeah, NFL.com's got him in the 4th. CBS Sports just moved him up to the final pick of the second round.
Yeah.
I believe it was going to Seattle with Kenneth Walker out the door. That'd be really interesting, I think, for Emmett Johnson to head up there. Not a team that would have jumped off the page for me as an option for him, but he's well-rounded enough that he's going to fit anywhere. He can carve out a role anywhere.
Yeah, and I think, look, he's a little bit smaller back, but he runs, really good behind his pads. He plays bigger than that, and I think his ability to not get hit directly is going to allow him to be, effective, whether you're running a power run game like Seattle or more of 11 personnel offense that you get up in Minnesota. He's a 3-down back. He has position flexibility to where I think he runs good enough routes. You can kind of motion him out and get him, locked up against a linebacker or a safety that can't handle him in the slot. He can run routes on the outside. So he's done a multitude of things in this offense here in Nebraska, which has set him up well to possibly be a really good pro.
You think he's the 3-down back from the jump?
Oh, he's going to have to work at it. I mean, I think he doesn't have a lot of experience with pass blocking. I think he can pick up the pass protection screens. It's going to be a different type of physicality that he's not used to. And that's every running back.
Sure.
When Marshall Faulk was at the Colts, when Peyton came in as a rookie, it wasn't the Marshall Faulk that was a rookie. Everybody has to learn how to pass protect. Opportunities to get there. He's shown the ability to step up every time that he's had to step up. So he's shown that he'll work when, while he's waiting. I think he's willing to play special teams. I think he helps you in the return game. I have no doubt that he can run down on punts and kicks and be a guy that's going to be always active. Mm-hmm. So that gives him a leg up there too. And, look, man, we've seen Amir Abdullah go in the second round. He's still playing in the NFL, where even though now it's like, kind of getting picked up middle of the season or whatever it is. He's 10, 11 years in the league and hasn't really ever since Detroit been the guy that could, be the bell cow. Look, when you get in the NFL, man, obviously, look, you want to make as much money as possible. You want to last as long as you can. You have to be lucky. You have to be good, lucky, and the opportunity has to be there to get into a Kansas City Chiefs organization, Patriots when they were rolling, and all that. And sometimes you could be the same player, but just don't get that opportunity. So for Emmett, it's the sky's the limit, and he's just got to take advantage of the opportunity.
If I had you guess the most carries that Amir Abdullah has had in a single season in the NFL,
150.
What would you guess? Close, 165.
Yeah.
Back in 2017, he went 165 for 552.
Yeah.
As a rookie, though, 16 games started, 9 of them, 143 carries for 597 yards, which is still the highest amount of yards he's had. 4 touchdowns in that third year there in Detroit. But that's a guy that was probably the best runner in college football.
Yeah, it's
that
kind
year.
of like Emmett this year. Like,
yeah,
certainly. Like kind of, obviously I think he had a little bit more offensive support. And
I give Jeremiah Love the nod.
Right.
That's no disrespect to Emmett.
No.
But
I was saying as far as like his impact, Amir's impact on that team.
Oh, sure. Yes. Yes.
And,
yeah.
I think the Detroit team that he went to was not the Detroit team that's right now. And that's what's also part of it too. And there's always going to be good running backs coming in. If you can get in a place that's a winning program, you can last a lot longer. Look at Charbonnet now, right?
Yeah.
And look where, it's really helped him. Look at Kenneth Walker, right? He kind of came in and Seattle was so. Well, then you kind of just work while you wait. You get healthy. Now you're down at the Chiefs. Now you're really leveling up after a Super Bowl win. So, wherever Emmett goes, I think is going to have a big impact on his career. But I think no matter where he goes, he'll do well.
Yeah, that just because I'm there. That 2015 Lions team starts out 0-5, beats the Bears in overtime with their first win, wins 2 more. So they go from 1-7 to 7-9.
Yeah,
rip off a 6-2 stretch after their bye week to end the year. Matthew Stafford, obviously the starting quarterback, had Calvin Johnson, Golden Tate, Theo Riddick was in there at running back with Amir Abdullah as well. Eric Ebron at tight end. When he was relatively young. He had just 22 at that point. But yeah, I mean, that's a guy that carved out a role.
Yeah.
And then he ends up in Minnesota right after that. And I don't even want to say, bounce around. That's kind of unfair to him. He's just found ways to grab onto a role.
Yeah.
To be a good locker room guy, to be a good special teams guy.
Yeah.
Can throw him in the backfield in a pinch like Indianapolis did this last year.
And then he produces.
Oh,
he
every
produces.
time.
Actually, I think you're getting more efficiency out of him in this role. He's excellent on special teams. He's a great locker room guy. He's a great running back room guy. He's kind of like a coach on the field. Because like he's going to places with a little bit, younger coaching staff. When you're 10, 11 years in the league, you can pretty much run the running back room. He's a great mentor to guys. And so I'm sure he's mentored, Emmett at some. And, look, you got to go in there and do what you need to do. I remember it like it was this day that Chuck Lester, came up to me and, was playing in preseason. And obviously you're really worried about how you play on regular defense. He's just like, look, we got 2 guys that are going to probably start this year. You need to be worrying about the kickback unit. And that's the kick step and when you're on the punt team. So, and then that elevates you, you be a stalwart on special teams, kind of rotational player at linebacker, get the opportunity, light it up those last 6 or 7 games, and then I start for 7 years in a row. That's how it works. Same thing can work for Emmett. So we'll take a quick break. We'll give you our thoughts on who else could possibly get drafted or who has a good chance to make it in the NFL next year. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, it's Grant Worcester. I co-founded Champ Roofing because I wanted to build a company with real integrity, the kind where you actually trust the people working on your home. We do roof replacements, inspections, gutters, and siding all across Nebraska, Lincoln, Omaha, and everywhere in between. Every job, we show up on time, do the work right, and stand behind it. That's what Champ is built on. Check us out at champ-roofing.com or give us a call at 402-858-7449.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Culture and Coffee with Mike Smith and the Bowie Boys is back this Friday, April 3rd, featuring members from UNL's Theta Chi fraternity to discuss their Car Smash philanthropy. Stop by this Friday between 5 and 8 p.m. as we turn the ticket into a skate park. That's right, a skate park, and also highlight the Car Smash philanthropy with Theta Chi. Again, that's 5 to 8 p.m. this Friday, April 3rd, for a live broadcast of Culture and Coffee from 5 to 7 p.m. and a Vintage Market Plus skate experience hosted by the Bowie Boys from 7 to 8 p.m. This is a party you won't want to miss, sponsored by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I Parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I Parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Do you ever feel okay in your current job and profession, but wonder if there's a better company that can offer more? Vision Mechanical is now hiring for journeyman plumbers and HVAC service technicians. Vision Mechanical offers top-of-the-industry wages, 100% paid health, disability, and life insurance, 401k with employee match, and paid holidays and vacation. Vision Mechanical believes in craftsmanship, teamwork, and building a better future one project at a time. Apply today or learn more at visionmechanical.net or email Ron at vmech.net.
Spring is the time of new beginnings and trying new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For parties for St. Patrick's Day and Easter or celebrating the NCAA tournament with friends, there's no better dip to bring everyone together and celebrate something from Nebraska. Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. Quick segment here on this Thursday. Talked extensively about Emmett Johnson. Looking forward to see him. And I think one thing about Emmett, he's worked his way, from a recruit, overlooked at times. And it's if you ever want somebody, when you stay down for the process and you believe in yourself, that's it, and things work out for you. So he deserves everything he gets because he definitely worked for it. Some other guys, I think that I don't know. What Singleton ran, he went to the combine, and I think that if he ran decent enough, and I know he's been a little injured, he could get drafted. I think one of the linemen could get, whether it's Rocco, Rocco could probably get drafted just because of your pedigree from Notre Dame. I could see either if he doesn't get drafted, and all these guys, if they don't get drafted, I think they could do well. Like Sierra Wright, I think Sierra Wright, if it wasn't for Emmett, Sierra Wright has had the best kind of off season that you could think of, right?
But kind of fell off the boards and off the radar.
Yeah,
which is weird.
Which is crazy.
Good kid, kept his head screwed on.
Right, great kid.
Switched positions even.
Yeah, took it for the team and played decent at the nickel.
Mm-hmm.
And then goes out to the East-West, does really, really well. Gets a late Senior Bowl invite, does decent enough down there. I would have thought that they would have parlayed that into a late invite to the combine. Didn't get it. I think he ran pretty decent at the pro day. So I think he's a guy that if he isn't picked up late, he'll definitely be a priority free agent, street free agent, get into a position that he can play. I think if everything checks out well for Javen, I think he'll get an opportunity just because you just can't. I mean, being 6'5", 230-some pounds, and it can run like that.
Built in a lab.
And has a ton of ups. He hasn't played his best football yet. You see some guys like that. It'll be interesting if Harburg, you think he ran a 4.4 something, being 240 pounds, a project. A lot of these guys, if they don't make it in the NFL, they go to UFL. So I think there'll be a lot of guys that'll get opportunities at professional football, just a matter of when.
The other one that stands out to me would be Dane Key. Kind of Michael Pittman Jr. light.
Yeah.
I think Pittman's a little bigger, a little thicker than Dane Key was listed at. Certainly had better numbers. I'm not sure if this year went exactly the way that Dane Key planned, but he was on the radar at Kentucky. I don't think he got worse at Nebraska necessarily.
No, and they look at 2 years, so he had a really good year, and they know that Nebraska had some struggles offensively. I think I can see him coming in as a third or fourth, fifth receiver because I'm gonna tell you what, covering kicks, he's gonna be a problem. Covering punts is going to be a problem. He can return punts a little bit, and he can make 50-50 catches, and he's a willing blocker. So there's no doubt about it that he'll get a shot. I'm sure he ran pretty decent, especially being at home. And so a lot of those guys will get their opportunity, and a lot of them have to grow and stuff like that. I think they'll do all right. Look, the more guys that can get opportunities, the better for Nebraska. But I think right now it's just all who Nebraska needs another guy drafted. It's a want-need type of thing, an opportunity, so it'd be interesting to see who it is.
If I were a betting man, my guess would be Rocco Spindler because of the Notre Dame pedigree.
Yeah.
And I thought he played pretty well for Nebraska for the most part this year. And Sierra Wright. Those would be probably the two that I would wager on alongside Emmett Johnson.
Yeah. And you might get 3. I think Matt Rule still has some connections. Obviously, Stewart just coming from the NFL. You have guys where you're getting a good sign-off of guys recent in the NFL that are respected. So it bodes well for them to, get drafted and definitely get looks at the next level. And that's all that matters. Once you get in, you got to get in where you fit in. You got to kick the door open. You can't ask for them to open it. So everybody's going to have the same opportunity. So everybody like to get drafted, doesn't work. So you're very fortunate. I was fortunate enough and blessed to be drafted, but I've seen a lot of guys play a long time not being drafted. London Fletcher should be in the Hall of Fame. There's a ton of free agents that didn't do it. Got drafted later as well. So anyways, onward, upward. We look forward to hearing from you tomorrow. We'll have another trivia question, another poll. This is kind of like my deal. I like to have these odd questions. So Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, we'll holler at you tomorrow.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Do you ever feel okay in your current job and profession, but wonder if there's a better company that can offer more? Vision Mechanical is now hiring for journeyman plumbers and HVAC service technicians. Vision Mechanical offers top-of-the-industry wages, 100% paid health, disability, and life insurance, 401k with employee match, and paid holidays and vacation. Vision Mechanical believes in craftsmanship, teamwork, and building a better future one project at a time. Apply today or learn more at visionmechanical.net or email Ron at vmech.net.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front of the line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call
John Henry's.
John Henry's Club.